Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, an actual play podcast. We actually play a different tabletop role-playing game every episode. Sometimes we play fun ones for more than one episode, but, in general, we rotate. Today we are playing Good Society, a game about proper etiquette, manners, and the right social connections. It's based on Jane Austen novels. It's fun. It's different than other tabletop role-playing games, and you're here because you want to check it out / listen to the melodrama. It's a special game where we have secret information. So instead of introducing my players like I normally do, I'm going to ask one of them, Marty, to remove his headphones, and I will wave you back in with this hand gesture. Arethor, 'tis just you and I. Please tell me about Arethor. What do you look like?
Hello, I am a delightful catfolk person, generally in a rumpled suit, unfortunately, because I just can't afford to stay in season anymore. But I am here looking forward to hopefully doing better than I've been doing lately.
I noticed that you have a role card. What role are you playing?
I am playing the role of the meddler, so I'll be causing some trouble while trying to gain some social advantage over the course of the evening.
You have an inner conflict. What are the two things at the edges of a teeter-totter that when one goes up, the other goes down? What is inside you churning?
It's a constant struggle between ethical behavior and entertaining mischief.
Yes, and if you perhaps pursue one, the other suffers.
Indeed.
I noticed that you come from humble origins. What are your positive and negative starting reputation tags?
My initial positive tag is that I am perceived as, I see myself at least, as innocent, although rumors may disagree. However, I am also perhaps perceived as dangerous.
Well, we wouldn't want to be perceived as dangerous. What are two things that might happen to you if you acquire 3 negative reputation tags? It looks like you have the choice between...
I can choose between minding my own business and fracture. Mind your own business means that others will distrust me and refuse to participate in my schemes and plans, where fracture means that someone close to me is appalled by my behavior and refuses to talk to me.
Well, we wouldn't want that. Let's avoid those negative reputation tags.
Indeed.
You can spend them to sort of like a resolve token to make that count decrease. If it hits 3, then you'll activate one of those 2 conditions. I see that you have a desire card. Can you go ahead and read that for us?
Yes, my desire card is what is right to be done cannot be done too soon. The goal being to restore my family name and resume my former place in society, perhaps as a respected lawyer.
Interesting. That is the same desire card that Armando played with yesterday. So it'll be cool for our listeners to hear how that goes differently for you two.
Very interesting.
And I noticed that there is some public knowledge. You've got 2 rumors spreading about you. What are those?
Yes, the first rumor is that my former fiancé called off our engagement not because I had lost my job, but because I was unfaithful and had pursued another.
How scandalous.
Indeed. Additionally, the second rumor is that I was fired from my job for using unnatural occult powers to influence the outcome of cases.
Goodness.
Indeed.
Well, I hope those rumors aren't true.
Not at all, except for, there was, let's not get into it, but there was this one time, it was an accident.
You're also playing as 2 other characters today. Who are they and what are their goals?
I'll be playing as Hudson Steinhauser, a young gentleman who is hoping to meet and regain contact with his fiancée, Sadie Ducat. I'm also playing like Oliver Mason, who's, really here to kind of just maybe have a good time, meet some people. Maybe I'll get lucky and have a chance to make a difference.
Excellent. Well, so, what do they look like and what do they do for occupation?
Sure. Hudson is a Macrodus elf, so long ears, a little over 700 years old. I am unsure of his occupation.
Stock trader. Yeah.
He is a stock trader. Yes, I did see that on the piece. And Oliver Mason is a young human fellow who is probably not wearing his standard red lifeguard shorts today, but is probably uncomfortable in a suit that's a little bit too small, but really shows off his shoulders well, and is traditionally a lifeguard, but is currently between jobs.
Excellent. All right, we're going to wave in Marty's player. Hi, Marty.
I'm back.
Excellent. Can Arethor's player please remove your headphones? We'll wave you back in with this. Well, welcome, Marty. Can you please describe yourself?
Sure. So I'm Marty. I am a anthropomorphic personification. I'm essentially one of the two spirits of summer. And I sort of embody the whimsical, relaxed side of summer. Just a day at the beach, if you will. That in person form.
Nice. Got that surfer, chill aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much. Just general surfer, bro.
Yeah. What is your inner conflict, like a teeter-totter? When one goes up, the other must go down.
Well, I'm supposed to be the concept of relaxation, of taking it easy. But there's always some part of me that wonders, there must be more to life than this. There must be some deeper meaning than just laying on a beach.
Yeah. Yeah, and the more you do one, the more the other suffers. What is your reputation? Like, what is known about you? I noticed that you come from old money. Do you have a prestigious family? Is there a positive and a negative tag associated with you that people know?
Well, are you asking me to read off the character sheet?
Yeah, what's your positive and negative tag?
All right, let's look at that. Positive, under reputation.
Old money.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yes. Here we go. Initial reputation. So my positive tag is that I'm very generous. And my negative tag, unfortunately, some people think I am tasteless.
Ouch. That's rude. So what happens if you acquire 3 negative or 3 positive tags? You can choose how you want to read this.
So positives will be gained if I act in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromises my own desires. Or if I act in obedience with society's conventions, despite considerable hardship in doing so. Or if I deny my own desires or make a sacrifice to uphold our family name.
Yeah. Well, if you do those things and you gain another positive tag and another, you'll be at 3 and you'll activate which 2 reputation criteria?
So the 2 options.
Your choice of one of those 2.
Yeah, I could choose one. I could have an unexpected connection, which is a wealthy, famous, or aristocratic connection that I made from abroad, comes to town, and they really bolster my reputation by being here. Or quite indebted, which is where I choose a connection, and until this connection is erased, this connection is in my debt for good deeds performed while out of town.
Nice. You either have like Beyonce as a friend. I'm apparently a big Beyonce fan. Or you have someone really in your debt. So those are great things. You definitely want to get to 3 reputation tags for sure.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got and you're playing the new arrival. Everybody's got a desire. What's yours?
My desire is I recently met this guy named Oliver Mason, and I'm not sure that my family would approve, but I feel a connection to him, and I am trying to improve his reputation to the point that maybe he would be seen as a potential match for me.
Yeah. Marriage is indeed a maneuvering business. So, you're also playing as 2 other people. Who are they? What do they look like? And what's their goal?
Well, there's Portia, who I believe is one of the long-eared elves, isn't she? Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. I know she's very old, so I figured she was an elf. And her goal, she is in love with Hudson, who is betrothed to Sadie, although there has been some complications lately. And I think she would really like to move in on that and win Hudson for herself. I am also playing Wraith, who is a hornbill. It's one of the bird people. He's a lawyer who had a falling out with Arethor when he felt like Arethor was really being... he was using magic unscrupulously to get ahead in a way that really is against the rules. He was cheating.
Yeah,
And
no one cheats better than me. How dare he?
well, he's a lawyer. So his goal really is just to, I mean, he's already won. He's already, gotten Arethor down, but just to maintain that Arethor should stay down.
Oh my. Yeah. That is fantastic. I think we did everything. So go ahead and take your headphones off and I'll do Sadie.
Can you do Sadie?
Yeah, I have to play today. We only have 3 people. Okay. Hey, it's just me and you, microphone, and possibly listeners. It's hard to tell. What is the future? Other than an unlimited expanse of an infinite number of listeners anyway. So I am Sadie/Anne. My body is that of a Macrotus elf with white hair and flat white ears, but my inner spirit is Anne. I'm from Shakespearean England in our world, occupying this body of an elf because I got hit by a carriage. It's a reference to reincarnation isekai manhwa. And it's hard occupying a body that's not yours because on the one hand, your inner conflict is that you're like, yes, I'm not dead. Thank goodness. I'm so lucky I had a witch friend. Thanks, Mary. On the other hand, you're like, what was this body up to before I came here? Oh no, she was engaged to be married and seemed like she liked that. But if she liked that, then why is she hiding deep, deep, deep inside herself? Maybe Sadie has some issues that she needs to address, but in the meanwhile, I don't want to mess up her life plans. So, my duty to Sadie is my inner conflict versus just my brash survival. Like, I'm just living life, What's a potato? Oh, it's fantastic. I can't believe I didn't have these back in Shakespearean England. I have a clergy background because that kind of fit a little bit. It gives me the negative tag of being out of touch, which my character definitely is. And the positive tag of being knowledgeable, but not about the right things, I'm thinking. Like, I really know how to make cheese and beer and sweep up a cottage and be a peasant. But, yeah, that's my positive tags. People know me as being pretty knowledgeable as Sadie Duca, but I'm, maybe not able to live up to their expectations and a bit out of touch. My goal is to work myself up to being a tremendous catch if I get 3 positive reputation tags, which will mean that every appropriate connection will wish to be my suitor, which means Hudson will want whatever this is, the Sadie Anne combination, and maybe we'll be willing to work with her to get Anne her own body and to get Sadie back. Because right now, if Anne leaves, Sadie's just kind of like Weekend at Bernie's, along for the ride, but not really present. So let's get Anne her own body one day. That's my goal for the end of the season. And let's get Sadie to stop being so shy to the point of hiding somewhere deep inside her brain. My desire card is number 5. A large income is the best recipe for happiness I ever heard of. So the problem with being Anne in Sadie's body is if my parents figure out that I'm not Sadie, they will kick me out, literally. Not out of the house, out of my body. I really need to get everybody to trust me and that I am the proper heir because, as the back of the desire card says, I need to come into substantial wealth while ensuring my reputation stays absolutely impeccable. I have to convince people that Sadie's worth existing, that my mom and dad think I'm their heir. Oh, and I'm role-playing as the heir card, and that I'm worthy of marrying Hudson, even though I am some sort of strange abomination of isekai. Shakespearean, peasant, and elf. Okay, all right. My player's board. I gotta bring them back in. Oh, I'm role-playing as Rowan Budd. Green hair, brown skin, thinks Marty is unorganized and lazy and generally does not earn his place. As a seasonal anthropomorphic personification, a sibling, a rival, a fellow 5,000-year-old spirit, but the spirit of spring. He's there to disapprove of Oliver. I'm not sure why yet. And Hop Cottonbottom, Arethor's former fiancée, who thinks Arethor manipulated her with his voice. She doesn't actually think that he cheated on her, that's just a rumor. Although, if she hears that, she will. Anyway, let's bring them in. Hey guys! Doing a little dance. Bring in my players back in. Put your headphones on.
I'm back.
We're back.
Welcome back. Alright, so Good Society is a role-playing game that has cycles. I'm holding this paper up to the camera. Cycles. There's a novel chapter. The novel chapter is when we role play. Then there's some official, point tallying things, the reputation phase, the rumor and scandal phase, and the epistolary. And we can novel chapter up until the break. And then when we get back from the break, normally we like recount what we did anyway. We do like a recap in Fire Breathing Kittens podcast format. Like we role play and then we take a break and then we like come back and talk about how we role played. That's officially like how this game works. So there's these 3 post break, you get your resolve tokens back and you get like points and stuff for how you role played. Like we mentioned that you may gain reputation tags. That's when that happens. Based on how you role played, you can gain positive or negative reputation tags after the break. And then there's going to be another role-playing phase. That's part 2 of our episodes. Good Society is weirdly compatible with Fire Breathing Kittens. And then after that, we'll have like the very end of the episode, another reputation and epistolary and upkeep phase we're not really going to do because we aren't going to do this like every single week, you know? But we have the Good Society has the official rules for how to turn this into a long-form campaign. But we're probably going to end at epistolary. And the official rules say the epistolary is the epilogue if it's your last cycle. So we'll say what our characters are headed towards after they've done all this. All right. So novel chapter. It says decide on the chapter type. The rulebook recommends starting with an event. That's a big party that everybody's at. All of our characters are there. And we're going to define the details of the chapter, set the scene, and start play. Who would be hosting a giant party?
There are multiple options that we established previously. Do you think we should roll to see who is doing the party?
No, there's no rolling here. We just talk. Let's list our options. We've got... I don't think Sadie would be hosting a party. She's a little bit overwhelmed. And I don't know if Rowan would be hosting a party because he's kind of not a big fan of his relatives. So like inviting them all over doesn't make a bunch of sense. And I don't know if Hop would be hosting a party because if she's here, it's briefly because she lives in a foreign country now.
Okay. Out of the people I'm playing, Portia might, although I think it might make more... I mean, Portia, I think Wraith could, although I'm not sure the typical lawyer has the level of wealth and of extravagance to be hosting this kind of party. I kind of wonder if Hudson should be hosting it because then it makes sense for those 2 characters to be vying for him.
I was looking at my 3 characters. Arethor for sure, currently at his level of disrepute, would not be hosting a party this big. I don't see Oliver as an unemployed young man either hosting a party, but Hudson Steinhauser as a successful stock trader looking to marry. I could see hosting a large party that might have a wide invite just to try and bring in a circle of people around Sadie. So that I think Hudson could be a host.
Yeah. So if Hudson's hosting it, where would he host the party at?
My guess is living in the city where he is, he might not have a huge banquet hall in the home, so he probably have a space, like have rented a banquet hall for that purpose.
Yeah, rented banquet hall, nice and big, has that like specific carpet that only event places have that's really low and easy to vacuum. Yeah, which has like paisley repeated designs on it. Yeah.
And the rented spaces could easily have like the large room for dancing or eating with a bunch of side spaces if people wanted to have quieter conversations.
Yeah, it could. And it has like nice public bathrooms with like 5 stalls at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. There could be some bathroom chats. Marty, what do you think? Would Portia attend that party?
I think she definitely would.
Okay, why would Wraith maybe be there?
Well, I think Wraith is generally looking to advance his own reputation, so I think he would go to any, gathering of social elites.
Right. Rich clients make for wealthy lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about Marty? Why is Marty there?
Marty would probably only be there because he knows someone who's there and wants to be supportive.
Like
so if
Sadie,
Sadie's going, yeah.
Yeah, so Sadie was like, oh no, quick, I gotta find some friends to come with me. So Sadie was like, Marty, Arethor, nobody else is in the bar today. Please come with me.
Yeah, Arethor's super happy about it. Like, absolutely, that would be lovely. While inside thinking, now here's a chance for me to work my way back in.
Ooh. And then you don't know that Hop is going to be there. But maybe
No.
Wraith invited her because Hop recently became a lawyer on her own, and she's a former assistant to Wraith, so he's helping her network.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure, because they didn't part on bad terms.
No, yeah. He, like, probably helped her get set up and get her own, like, qualified. Maybe he was supporting her classes while she worked for him.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so she finally became a lawyer on her own, and now he has a snazzy lawyer apprentice, like, protege that he's going to show off to everybody. He's like, look, you knew her as my assistant, and now she has finally graduated and joined a law firm on her own in Hush. So, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, when Sadie invited Marty, why did Marty bring Oliver?
I think she's asking you.
Oh, Oliver would go right now wherever Marty's. Like, you know, they're staying together. You know, thanks for a place to stay. Very much like a party sounds great. I'm in.
Yeah, actually. I can just picture he's like, oh, where are you going? And Marty's like,
yeah,
go ahead, role play it. Let's do that conversation.
Hey, Marty, you're dressed nice. Like, where are you going somewhere? What's up?
Oh, just a party. Do you want to come?
You know what? I thrifted this great suit. It's a little small, but I think it'll be good. You know, like it'll be solid. So I'm thinking, yeah, that'd be great.
Tight clothes. You just look bigger. It'll be great.
Right? Yeah. Just gets full.
I need some arm candy. Come on.
Yeah, done. 100%.
They show up at the party, and how do you arrive, you two together?
Oliver's arm in arm for sure.
Marty thinks that's a little silly, but he's tolerating it.
When you step into the room, you see like a punch bowl and a bunch of people dressed up all fancy, like lawyers and stuff.
Yeah. So Oliver's eyes goggle a little bit at this version of Elite. I mean, it wasn't that long ago he was at a camp as a lifeguard. So just goggles and goes, is this where you are all the time? Marty,
no.
Is it always like this?
No, this is so stuffy. I'd rather be at the beach any day.
Yeah. Wow. Beach is good. I like the beach. Don't get a lifeguard. But I could get used to this maybe too.
Well, it's always going on. You can get into these anytime you want. You know, put on a white shirt, black tie. They'll just let you walk in the back door anytime.
Good to know. Yeah, I'm in.
Sadie's going to see you guys arrive and be just so grateful to have someone she can actually talk to. And she's going to act in obedience to society's conventions, despite considerable hardship in doing so, and give you guys a formal invitation. But her idea of a formal, like, what do you call that? Like, these people entered the room is based upon literally just having seen 3 of them just now and no other experience. So she's going to, like, incorrectly title you guys a little bit. Like, she's going to be like, oh my gosh, you guys, thank you for coming. I think we're supposed to introduce each other here, so I'll do this. All right. Now joining the party is Marty Flame, the spirit of summer, who burns with a passion and is great at beach parties, and his husband, Oliver Mason. You guys are married, right? I don't know. The lifeguard to Marty's flame.
I guess we are today. Let's roll with it.
Oh, okay, we can pretend. That sounds fun.
Uh-huh.
My husband is just so good. The best husband of all husbands.
Oh, he flatters me so much.
Come, husband, to the punch.
Yeah, I wonder if it's spiked. We could spike it.
Ooh.
And I'm just trying to be kind to introduce you guys. And I'm going to be like, look, this is... And I'm going to introduce you to Hudson. I'm going to say, this is Hudson. He's the host of this party. And I'm just dying on the inside. I'm just like, oh, God, I hope I'm doing this right.
Oh, Hudson, I am so glad to meet you. I hear you have just made my little honey bunny so happy in her life, you know, supporting her and really just adding meaning, you know, because otherwise, what's it all for, right?
Well, it is just a pleasure to meet you both. It's quite lovely. Oh, it's not. That's nice to meet you too. Oh, pleasure's all mine. Any friend of Sadie's is a friend of mine.
Well, we are definitely the best of friends. Just we know each other so deeply, right, Sadie?
Yeah, I know Marty well.
Just the best of friends. Now, of course, at the beginning of the party, my obligations are far-ranging, but Sadie, I hope you'll save a space on your dance card for me later.
Absolutely, let's dance. Yeah, I love dancing. Do you want to do, and I list off like several obscure terms that you've never heard of that are not modern dances at all. They're Shakespearean dances.
I will happily learn whatever you would like to teach me. But those are unusual. Where did you learn them?
Oh no, I keep on telling the clock wrong. Well, maybe... Oh, I have this list of 10 vocab words I forgot to say at the start of this. You guys will figure it out. When I say weird stuff, look it up. Maybe I was too high-sighted to want to dance with you. I will intermit. And I just like head towards the punch bowl. Don't mind me. You don't have to dance. I'm sorry.
She's so shy. Don't worry. She knows a lot of those older dances. For you, I suppose. They're barely 500 years old, but they're very easy to pick up. You'll love it.
I'm very interested. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have many other people I need to greet.
Absolutely.
Oliver will sort of tug gently at Marty's elbow to try and pull him over towards the dance floor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are we dancing? Okay. All right. Lead the way.
Sure. I mean, it's a party, right?
Well, I mean, it is kind of our obligation to start the dance floor, isn't it?
I think so.
All right. So we proceed to the dance floor. And are we doing Shakespearean dances or something more modern?
Which can you do?
I'm 5,000 years old. I've got a lot of dances.
Oliver's 19 and probably will need correction from somebody who is more socially appropriate for this setting for what dancing is supposed to look like.
I have done a Google search and I have some information on what dancing is supposed to look like. There's the volta, the coranto, and the gilliard, and the jig and the canario. Basically, raise your arms. Put your
Marty
hands
does that.
about head
It's
level.
supposed to be like Regency era, like partner dancing where you're moving around like in groups, right? Where everybody knows the steps. I'm assuming Oliver knows none of that and immediately just tries to dance on Marty.
Marty starts doing the Macarena.
Oliver quickly switches gears to a similar Macarena, but doesn't know it well because, you know, it's before his time.
Ouch!
I'm going to try to make a move to gain a reputation tag. No, I'd introduced you guys. I gained a reputation tag. I'm going to try to introduce Hop. So as you guys are dancing, to the amusement of everyone around you, a bunny person, she's like a bipedal bunny with a pink nose that twitches. It twitches a bit more as she watches and sips some punch. And she's basically not laughing at you because she's a rabbit, but she's like twitching her nose at you and is amused by the dance. And walking up to her is a horn-billed person, and she hands him one of her 2 punch glasses and says, "Oh, here, I got this for you."
Oh, why, thank you, ma'am.
"So who do you think is the richest here? I've got to have some good clients."
Well, I'm afraid I don't know everyone here, but I would assume the host is fairly high on the list.
"Great, I'll head over to him." And she walks over to Hudson Steinhauser and waits for him to be available and is just like predatorily watching. I love the rabbit.
Hudson is going around and sort of greeting everybody as they come in and making the rounds. And after a few minutes, we'll notice, very aware of who's around him. He'll notice this bunny person that he has never met before, but is here at his party and walks over. Hello, I don't believe we've met before. My name is Hudson Steinhauser. This is my soiree this evening, and it's lovely to meet you. You are?
And I look back at the horn-billed person, and he like gives me a thumbs up. And I look back at Hudson, and I'm like, "I'm Hop Cottonbottom, and I'm newly a lawyer. I'm looking for clients because I'm going to do a great job representing people. So far, I've never lost a case.
That's very true. She never has, as I sidle up behind her.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, Ms. Cottonbottom. And I believe, Wraith, is this your guest? I mean, you definitely were on the invitation list. I'm assuming this is your +1.
We can say that, but quite frankly, she stands sturdily on her own.
I can handle prenuptial agreements and child visitation agreements, all sorts of family law. I've heard that, and she actually has done her research, I've heard that you're engaged. Have you met with a lawyer to arrange for your prenuptial agreements yet?
Oh, well, Ms. Cottonbottom, I am pleasantly engaged at the moment, but we have not had the opportunity to iron out all of the wrinkles as of yet. However, I do encourage you to enjoy the party. We may have a chance to discuss business later in the evening, but my responsibilities and indeed your enjoyment of this evening should take priority. Business is conducted in the daylight.
Very wise of you, sir. Yes. Come. He tucks one of her cards into his jacket pocket. Just for later. We're here to have a good time tonight. No business talk while the sun is down. I agree.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you. And you can see him just sort of tuck the card down a little further in the pocket to make sure it doesn't fall out.
Oh, good. After he walks away, Hop turns to Wraith and is like, "Oh no, I was too aggressive. I acted on desire in a way that compromised my duty or morality. I'm going to gain a negative reputation tag as being a pushy newbie."
Yeah, just a little. It's all right. He took the card, did he not? I think we saved that.
I'm so glad you were here, Wraith.
No problem. I'm just always happy to be of service.
I don't know what I would have done if you weren't there. Especially, gosh, I can only trust you to tell me the truth, Wraith.
I'm glad you have such faith in a lawyer.
Across the banquet hall, standing just near a wall, is Arethor. The rumpled suit has clearly been... There's an attempt to, iron it himself. So now there's some bits that are shinier than they're supposed to be because suits should not be ironed like this. But it's at least not rumpled. And at Hop exclaiming that she's, gone too hard too fast as a lawyer to try and get this client, he notices Hop and Wraith for the first time and leans over towards the person next to him, who, let's say, turns out to be Portia, but it's just whoever is next to him, and says, "Can you believe those..." Sorry, and now I'm slipping into the wrong accent. "Can you believe those two? They seem to be very attached at the hip. Perhaps there's more going on between them than first appears."
Oh, pardon? Which two are we discussing?
And Arethor gestures very subtly over at the rabbit and hornbill. And so this is just playing into my character role as a meddler, as an outrageous and inaccurate gossip. But also is innocent of what's going on. And says, you can see the two of them, they seem very animatedly together. Who knows what sort of business they might be up to behind closed doors.
Oh, well, of course, but I'm not sure they're the object of attention tonight. I don't even know who they are.
And I would like to point out one of the mechanics. So there are 2 rumors on the table right now that you can use. Those start out activated and spread. And all you have to do is say that you're using that rumor, and you can, because it's already been spread, it basically has a resolve token on it. You can pull that resolve token off, cross the rumor out, and use it to influence the story. And the 2 rumors on the table are, and these are on the public information sheet, you can look at them. It's a doc file. 1, Arethor's former fiancé called off the engagement, not because he had lost his job, but because he was unfaithful and had pursued another. So you can use that now as Portia to be like, "Aren't you that cheating scumbag lawyer?" Or, second rumor, that Arethor was fired from his job for using unnatural occult powers to influence the outcome of cases. So you could be like, aren't you that guy who like mind warps people by talking to them? Should I be talking to you? And that's just an example of the way that rumors can impact the story.
Yes.
You just say you're utilizing them, and if they've been spread, you use them.
All right, I am going to utilize the first one, but Portia's a little classier than that. She is going to say, you know, if I didn't know any better, I would say you had a vested interest in what those two were doing.
As a person who's very open about who I am, that's one of my positive tags.
Are you utilizing your positive tag?
I'm utilizing. No, I'm just trying to earn them for later. I'm acting in a way that aligns with my character.
Oh, that's not how you earn.
Yeah, so you're right. That's right. I'm wrong.
But still.
It's okay.
But I would say that the rumors about myself and Hop are wildly inaccurate. I was never unfaithful. I believe in a sense of duty, although only reasonably so. No, she actually left me because I was no longer employed as a lawyer, although I'm hoping to rectify that.
Well, that's a admirable goal. My mother did always say there are two sides to every story, so I think you'll understand me holding judgment until I get the other side.
Of course. I don't think we've actually had the pleasure until now, but you seem to know who I am. My name is Arethor Goic, and you are?
Portia. Pleased to meet your acquaintance.
And it is a pleasure to meet you as well. And he takes, following the social conventions of introductions, takes Portia's hand in his two paws and gently kisses the back of her hand politely. With a slight bow.
Oh, well, charmed.
Thanks, sleazy cheating guy, for kissing my hand. Charmed.
Mm-hmm. Charmed.
I love it.
So nice. Well, I'm afraid I must be off. So much mingling to do. Where's Hudson?
I have not had the pleasure of meeting our host yet, but I'm happy to scan the room for you. And Arethor starts looking around for Hudson and says, perhaps just across over there, it seems like he's introducing himself to others still.
Yes. I'm going to go maybe say hello, see if he needs any support. Maybe you might fit in better on the dance floor. There's some new members over there.
Yes, they are entertaining. I believe I may have met them before. I'll walk over and say hello. And Arethor will head off, freeing up Portia to introduce, to say hello, not introduce, to say hello to Hudson. Yeah, Arethor will approach Hop and Wraith.
Oh, okay.
And say, well, it's a pleasure to see both of you this evening.
I'm afraid I can't agree, but hello.
Ugh. And she just turns away. Hop just scrunches up her little rabbit nose and turns away.
Hop, please, be dignified. We're here together at this party. Let's not make a scene.
I doubt she's the one who's undignified. Look at yourself, man.
I don't believe it's my fault that I'm in this state, Wraith. I do believe that fault lies with you.
I would disagree. I did nothing but bring the truth to light. Is that not our duty?
You brought a twisting of the truth to light.
Well, is that not also our duty?
And Arethor will turn his back on Wraith and try and sidle between Wraith and Hop and say, look, Hop, please, perhaps we could find some time to chat this evening. I understand if it's not now, but we were at least able to talk to each other when we met in Hush.
This is a great time to point out another mechanic of the game. You can use your 2 resolve tokens. So it's a limited action economy game. Once you spend both, you have none left. But you can use one to make another character do something. Like you can use one to make Hop walk with you and have a silent one-on-one talk.
Yes.
And resolve tokens are different than the positives that we're earning with those traits.
Yeah.
Right?
I have like 2 rocks on each character sheet.
Yeah, I
each
have
character
dashes.
has 2 to spend. Yeah. So
Okay.
you can just Everyone has 2 resolve tokens to spend, and the players have a monologue token to spend, and that can force the truth out of someone. So maybe Hop will use that later on Wraith to confess to what he did to Arethor. Who knows?
Yes. At this time, Arethor would absolutely use a resolve token to get Hop to obligingly take a walk together, perhaps around the perimeter of the room, not ready to leave together to be alone, but enough to have a private conversation.
Yeah. So you're down to 1 resolve token for Arethor. And I will accept that. It's always a negotiation when you involve someone else's character, and I don't have any conditions. So Hop will agree to walk with you and looks nervous and keeps stroking her ears.
Now, mechanically, if this is against the interests of Hop, you would take the resolve token that I'm spending, correct?
Yeah, but it's not, so it just goes to the pool.
Yep.
Yeah, but if it's like, if you tried to get Sadie to give up on Hudson, she'd have to accept that resolve token, and then she'd have 3. Yeah.
Yep. Look, Hop, I'd like to discuss the nature of our separation. I can understand that you've moved on and you have a life of your own, but I would like to end any bad blood between us.
There can be no blood between us at all. You used your voice to make our relationship. There's nothing there. There's no truth. There's no substance. We are simply 2 strangers bound by some foul occult magic.
Hop, please. There's a misunderstanding that you are operating under. Yes, I do have this ability that I was unaware of when we got together, and it did come out unwillingly, or unaware of me at least, in one of my cases, but I have never used my voice on you, and I never would.
How would I know? How can I believe you when everything you say could sound like the most beautiful of angels' wings?
I speak plainly to you. I would never build a relationship with somebody built on a lie or some sort of power. My affection for you has always and will always be genuine, and I hope that yours is returned. If I was going to use my voice, why would I not have done it when first you accused me?
Maybe once a person knows of it, it loses power over them. I don't know the rules to your strange dark magics. All I know is that it's beyond my comprehension, and it takes away my free will. And then, out of character, I'm going to suggest that you guys arrange to try it so she knows what it feels like, so she knows when it's not being used, because it's fun. How would I know if you're using this occult magics on me? Definitely spoken with a K.
Perhaps then I could arrange for you to feel the effects of my voice with your consent prior to doing it. That way you would be aware of perhaps a difference in feeling.
What a scandalous idea. I need some time to digest this. What would you make me do? Stand on my head? Or, oh my goodness.
Well, not in an environment like this, I wouldn't. We could perhaps even discuss what it is you would be willing to... consent is important to me, Hop. I hope that you remember that about me. But perhaps you may do a dance that you have never done before. Something that may rouse the moods of the group. But never would I want to subject you to something you would be unwilling to do.
Well, I did remember that about you, but I'm not sure what I remembered. And, I'm not sure of anything anymore. Yes, let's try it. But I don't want it to be something that is publicly exposing me here when I'm trying to make so many good connections. Shall we meet in and this is when us defining the room is important. Is there an outside?
I believe there are small side rooms.
Small side rooms? Okay. There's like an unused kindergarten space for when this place hosts child-appropriate events where the kids can have a little play place. Shall we meet near the ball pit?
Yes, that's perfectly amenable. Would you like to give it some time for it to marinate, or shall we meet there soon?
Yes, I'd like Wraith to be there. I trust him. I'll go talk to him, and I'll meet you in the ball pit.
Very well. I shall await you there.
I'm going to go talk to Wraith. Hop, the rabbit, walks up to the hornbill person and is like, Wraith.
Yes, my dear?
Arethor just said the strangest things.
Oh?
He said that he did not use his voice on me and that our relationship was true.
Who could tell?
Well, maybe I would be able to tell if he tried it on me, and I could experience what it felt like. So we've decided to try it out in the ball pit, with you there to supervise because I trust you.
You are a wise woman beyond your years, and I have utmost faith in your decision-making capabilities. However, I do wonder if we are placing ourselves at the mercy of a sorcerer.
Oh, no.
Could he not use it on me as well? How much safety is there in another person?
You're so right. And then this is a great chance for Wraith to use a token to get something you want done. You can make a meaningful impact on the story to pursue your goals. What are your goals? What do you want to happen?
It seems like my goals are really to keep Arethor right down where he belongs.
Oh. Okay, so what would you like to happen here? And spend a token to make it happen.
I would like to... Okay, so I'm going to spend a token, so I'll go down to 1. And I am going to convince her not to give him a chance to demonstrate the voice so that she has no evidence that he didn't use it on her before.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to tell her, it's just not safe. He could use it on any of us, all of us at the same time. How would we know? I think it's best if you just stay away from him at all costs. But I believe in you, and I think that you're going to do what's best.
You're so right, Wraith. And thank you for believing in me. I think you are very wise, and I'm so glad to have you as a mentor. I'm a much better lawyer and person because I know you.
And I you.
Well, what should I do? I've told him I would meet him in the ball pit.
Send someone else to meet him.
Okay. Who?
Someone we don't care about. Someone dispensable.
And we look over, and across the room enters a green-haired man with brown skin, fashionably late. He doesn't really care. He's 5,000 years old, and these mortal parties just come and go. And but he does admire how organized the room is. He's like, oh, all those chairs are pushed in. Nice. That chair's out. Annoying. And he walks into the room and honestly doesn't even do an introduction. He's just like, you know me. You love me. It's Rowan Budd.
Okay. Oh, yes. That's Rowan. I vaguely know of him. He's a relative of Marty over there. I bet they aren't even susceptible to that magic. They're not people.
Oh, says the rabbit folk to the bird.
Yes, let's go send them over to deliver a message for us. We're just not interested.
That's brilliant. Okay. And they head over to Rowan Budd, and Wraith says,
Oh, Rowan, how are you? It's been ages.
Wraith Hornbill. Do you want me to do French? I know I'm supposed to do something else. Wraith Hornbill, yes. I'm supposed to do Indian. I can't do Indian. I can do French, sort of badly. Okay, all right. Wraith Hornbill, yes.
I'm so glad you remember. Yes, me,
Yes.
of course.
It is the lawyer that got me out of the parking tickets at one time. I do not know when these parking meters arrived on the scene, but they're horrible.
I agree. Everyone thinks so. Hopefully they'll pass soon.
May it be lost to the ages.
Yes. I actually wondered if I might implore of you a small favor. We are in need of someone with your magical abilities, shall we say.
I have so many. And he waves his hand, and the table decorations, which were flowers, bloom.
Exactly. Oh, so beautiful. Such good work. Yes, we were hoping you would deliver a message to someone. However, he's quite the sorcerer, and we would need someone with, shall we say, invulnerability to anything he might try.
That is me, 5,000 years old and still kicking.
Absolutely. There is Arethor waiting by the bull pit, and he is trying to ensorcel this dear woman and take away her free will. I was hoping you could just go and tell him we're not interested. She is not interested. So presumptuous of me.
A woman's right to choose is very important. Of course, I will fight off this foul sorcerer for you. And you know how about the next parking ticket is free? And I'm going to spend a Rowan Bud resolve token to get free lawyer services from Wraith next time.
Of course.
Okay.
Quid
Or
pro quo.
maybe Wraith should spend this, and then that'll be Rowan's yes and. I don't know. Yeah, we need a negotiation happening here.
I mean, I think this is still kind of going... Is this still under the same negotiation of keeping Hop away from...
No, they're all individual. So, all right. Rowan's going to ask you for free lawyer services.
Yes.
And he intends to do like a very bad crime and get you. So we're going to have a quick contract right here. Of course, you do not mind signing a contract that the next law case that I need represented that you will do for free.
Well, there's always limitations. Shall we say 3 hours of lawyering services?
Make it 30 and yes.
30?
Up to 30. We will probably only use 3.
I would say the parking ticket was 20 minutes, sir. You have something in mind?
I would never.
If so, speaking to a lawyer ahead of time to protect your interests is always a good idea.
I don't know. So I'm trying to spend a token to get some free law services to then do a horrible crime. And it sounds like it's being accepted. Is it being accepted?
Not yet. He is suspicious.
Oh.
So I think you're going to have to negotiate something further. I'm not sure how you want to negotiate. You're either going to have to add something to the pot or utilize intimidation.
I think I'm going to just dangle that I'm leaving. Well, who needs to investigate a sorcerer anyway? You can do it on your own, I'm sure. You'll be fine. He'll just walk away.
It's fine. We have other options.
Okay, well, I have other options too. I hear that there are other lawyers here other than you, and he looks around and there are not. And he's like, maybe that rabbit. And the negotiations have failed. So he's not going to the ball pit.
Yeah. No, that's fine. We don't even need him. He's a bit of a loose cannon. Let's go to our other loose cannon. Marty's right over there. Should be equally immune. Let's just send him.
Okay, Wraith, talk to Marty.
Okay. Yes, Wraith walks over to where Marty and Arethor are on the dance floor, just making a complete fool of themselves, just, dancing crazy, dancing big. And he gives him a tap on the shoulder. Excuse me, gentlemen. Yes, yeah, how can I help you? Well, I was wondering if I might get some assistance. You see, there is a man here with some sorceress powers that we are a bit afraid might influence our decisions, and we were hoping to find someone with a bit of immunity to go and deliver a message to him, to Arethor, over in the ball pit. Oh, well, I mean, I think he's always been a pretty stand-up guy, but sure, what do you want to tell him? Well, I was hoping that you could just go... Actually, she can speak for herself. She's right here.
Tell him that I don't... What was it we decided? Can't trust sorcerers or something like that. Oh, yeah. How did Wraith talk her into... I forget.
By saying that that having someone else there doesn't make anything... He could be using his voice on all of us.
Yeah. Well, then Marty going, kind of does help. So she can go. Because he's magic.
We were sending Marty over on his own.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wraith pointed out that I can't trust that he won't just dupe me into believing that... Because if he has mind-controlling powers, then he'll just make me believe that I trust him after having tested it. So it's like, that's not a test at all. There has to be someone that he can't control. So we want to test to see whether or not he can control you first.
So Oliver who's been standing there the whole time... will say, look, I don't know who you are, but I mean, Arethor's a pretty nice guy. I've met him. We've spent a little time together. I've never felt unduly influenced, I think.
You wouldn't. That's the point. How would you know?
I think he's like Marty said, he's a good guy. I mean, we could both go with you. There's no reason you can't. And so, Oliver, in the interests of keeping some unity in the group and just being a team player, is going to spend one of his resolve tokens to now try and convince Hop to come along with Marty.
Ooh, okay.
Are you earning something positive? I feel like maybe you are.
Well, so it's a connection, so connections don't get reputation tags.
Oh, okay. Oops.
No, it's fine. Oliver just wants everybody to get along and wants everybody to go together, and that makes sense. Wants to make a difference. All right, so I'm going to remove a resolve token from Oliver, the status of resolve tokens, and these are mostly going back to the bank. They're not like making anybody. You can use your resolve token to make somebody else's character do something and you hand it to them. Like you can say, I use a resolve token from Sadie to make Hudson come talk to her, you know? So, yeah, so this is Oliver just spending it to the bank to make everybody go because he has a overall desire of happy party.
Yeah.
He's not using it to give it to Hop to convince her that like she should actually come and all of them should be together. Yeah.
Yeah,
It depends on whether you consider that that's against Hop's interests or not. Right? Because you get to keep it if it's against Hop's interests.
I'd say it's not against her interests. She just wants to love this man and things are stopping her.
Is that what she wants?
Yeah. She liked him. She only dumped him because of thinking he was mind controlling her. This is like The Witcher, where like the two main characters aren't sure if they love one another because they love one another, or if they love one another because it's magic. So they can never be together, they decided in The Witcher. Lame. Anyway, so Hop is one half of she's in the Witcher mindset where I'm not sure if I love him because I love him or if I love him because he's magic and he made me love him. But I know I love him.
Okay.
So I won't be with him. See the problem logic?
Yeah.
Anyway, so all right. Oliver's token goes to the bank. We're all going to head there together. Marty, Oliver, Wraith, Hop are going to the ball pit.
Almost the entire set. Okay.
So we all have two characters in the next conversation.
Uh-huh.
What have we done to
Rowan's
ourselves?
not there. Let's go test magic.
All right. So we all go over to the ball pit.
Okay.
And
the room half empties.
someone is very surprised to see all of us.
Arethor is initially turned away from the door and is sort of like idly fiddling with the balls in the ball pit, and hears the door creak and turns around to see a group of people coming in for what he thought was a private meeting with Hop, and goes, hello everyone. I didn't expect everyone to be here, but okay.
Put your balls away, man. You have guests.
Wow.
Who said that?
Who
Marty.
was that? Wow, that's Marty. This is hardly the time or place to be making the jokes off color in mixed company.
Not with that attitude.
Oliver playfully slaps Marty on the arm and chuckles softly.
Oh, I think Marty just gained a negative reputation tag.
Yeah,
Did
I think
I?
so too.
Why?
You
Acting in
shamed him.
contravention of society's conventions.
Yeah.
Oh, oops. That's not supposed to happen. Okay.
We're like Regency era Jane Austen, right? So it's
Yeah.
Well, it does say I'm tasteless. All right. So what do I do with a negative tag?
We'll do it later, but you definitely got one there. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put under Marty.
Don't worry. We got it. Just write balls. That's what
I'm
I
putting
did.
a sad face. I'm doing sad faces and stars for those tags.
That'll definitely help you remember everything later.
What?
Nothing. That won't work at all.
I'm just keeping track.
All right.
Balls.
I
Okay.
await being impressed by this system. So
yeah, I agree.
what do we do? All right. So we're here. Marty made a crude joke about balls.
Yeah, Arethor goes, "Oh, Marty, you might be a lovely. Now is neither the time nor place. But Hop, please, if you could, why have we brought an entourage for our meeting?"
Wraith made the point that I won't know if I know because mind control is inherently a loop. So
I see.
Maybe Marty's magic and maybe it won't work on him at all. I don't know. And then these other people are here as witnesses and test subjects.
I see. Well, I'm very happy to do what needs to be done to repair our relationship. However, I'm not. So yes, absolutely. Whatever you need for your safety. And in this mind, I'm trying to get another positive tag by acting in obedience to these conventions or sacrificing my own desire to be well thought of and return as a lawyer by this group of people seeing the power of my voice now, leading right into why I was actually disbarred.
Yeah, your willingness to show to the group is definitely going to act in opposing to you becoming a lawyer again. Yeah, you're just outing yourself and you're publicly showing your magic. Yeah.
So I'm putting my potential relationship with Hop ahead of my real desires, according to the game card. So how shall we proceed?
I have decided that it should be a simple and easy to interpret command, such as raise your hand.
Very well. So, and I am to enact this upon you.
Everyone here.
Upon the entire room.
Yes.
Very well. So, I suppose we should preface this by saying that everyone should resist or decide they don't want to raise their arm, so that when I say it with my voice, you'll know whether this goes in contravention of your desires. Does that sound fair?
Sounds good to me.
Yes, says Hop.
Right. Is everyone ready? Do I have everyone in the group's consent? Oliver
Barely,
says,
but
yeah,
here we
I
are.
raise my hand. Sure.
All right, wait, was that Wraith,
Yes.
Marty, Oliver, and Hop? Okay, we're good.
Okay. So nice that you only have one character in this scene,
I'm loving it.
Hop. So Arethor sort of looks at the whole group and says, right, everybody, raise your hand.
Hop resists.
And I would say at this point, we don't have a mechanic for magic in this game system. But I would say you all feel, if you're actively resisting the idea of raising your hand beforehand, you may feel compelled to raise your hand. But the idea is that it would potentially feel natural if you're not actively resisting it. I can't interpret how your characters feel, though.
Wraith's hand naturally raises, and he looks at it in shock.
Yeah, Hop too. Does Marty's?
No. Yeah. Marty says, did you do it already? Oh, I guess you did. No, I'm good. Just here.
Oliver's hand shoots up immediately. Big smile on his face. I tried to resist it, but I mean, I want you to do well, Arethor. What can I say? Well, thank you for your honesty, Oliver. No problem. Would you say you were aware that this was not something that you wanted to do, Hop?
No, I wanted to raise my hand naturally. Oh no.
And Wraith, you looked a little shocked. I mean,
I was a bit surprised. I was willing my hand down quite aggressively, and then suddenly it disappeared.
and so now I'm going to use my inner monologue token to make Wraith honestly explain awareness of the voice being used, just to make sure that it's clear and honest. If that's because I'm assuming that's the inner monologue, so that Hop understands that, maybe this was not what happened with Hop and I's relationship, because that information originally came from Wraith.
Okay, so ask a question.
Do I ask a question? Is that how it works? I thought I just heard the
Yeah.
thoughts.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you ask a question and they have to answer truthfully.
Okay, so then Arethor will look at Wraith and say, I believe now you could perhaps be honest about the way that you ensured the dissolution of my relationship with Hop.
Well, I've never been anything but honest. I think this just goes to prove it. I think that try as I might to keep my hand down, there was nothing I could do, and it felt real and natural. I find my hand up no matter what. And I think that's the dangerous thing about your magic. No one can ever be sure. Did you use it on a jury? Did you use it on Hop? I think there's no way for anyone to ever know if their reactions, if their feelings for you or about anything, if you're in the room, could ever be true. You could always be cheating.
I believe you, as the stealer and reader of my private journal, would be aware that although I mentioned very clearly an accidental single use which you used to oust me, that there were no mentions of any sort of use on my dearest Hop.
How else could you explain this? She's out of your league.
Ooh.
And at this, Arethor looks slightly affronted, and and is going to potentially get a negative tag for acting in convention, in contravention of society's expectations and conventions, and says, "Look, there was a time when you and I were of equal standings and Hop was our employee. Perhaps in our current arrangements she may rank above me, but such was not the case during our relationship. So your logic is flawed, and quite frankly, you are a buffoon."
My logic has nothing to do with your current employment. It's with you as a person. She was always out of your league.
Whoa!
She deserves better. Perhaps me.
And continuing the horrible negative tag moment, Arethor loses control and slaps Wraith across the beak. And turns and walks away.
My point is made.
Oh my gosh, that drama.
That was a bad moment for Arethor.
Oh no.
Yikes. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the banquet, Hudson spots Sadie again and approaches to greet her. "Oh, hello, Sadie. It is lovely to see you again. I hope you're finding this party to your liking."
Yes, it's lovely. What do you call this dish? It's amazing. And it's just like pumpkin pie.
Sadie, I only have it here as a favorite of yours. It's pumpkin pie.
Oh,
and he looks very
Sadie
confused.
didn't like the pumpkin pie. Anne likes the pumpkin pie because
Sadie
pumpkin's
didn't
native
like
to
it?
North America. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Well, he doesn't know that about Sadie, but like they're an arranged marriage couple. But like fruits and vegetables native to North America are things Shakespearean people didn't know about. And so pumpkin pie is something they wouldn't have known about.
Gotcha. Okay. So we'll go
Anyway,
back and he says,
sorry. Yeah.
This is pumpkin pie. It's becoming all the rage here nowadays.
It's amazing. I love it. And he definitely was with her because she was a shy, modest woman. And she shoves that pumpkin pie right up in her face. She's like, nom, 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 nom.
Hudson looks shocked at this lack of social graces and says, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Sadie, is everything okay?
It's great. I'm having a good time at this party. Good job. I slap your shoulder. It's fantastic.
He looks at his shoulder, kind of dusts it a bit, and goes, over the last couple of times that we have met, you've seemed different. Has anything in your life changed recently? You don't seem the Sadie I remember.
I put down the pumpkin pie and I straightened and I realized that I was being comfortable and I should have been Sadie. And let's see. I hurt or pushed away someone important to you for this. I sacrificed something important to you for this. I took action in pursuit of this. Is the pumpkin pie a large enough sacrifice to be considered? Yeah. That's the question. How valuable is pumpkin pie? I'm gonna not eat for the rest of the evening so that I can be seen as a demure, polite, shy woman. Oh no. And I'm gonna officially vie for that. You sacrifice something important to you. It's gonna be pie. And I'm gonna lie to him. And I'm gonna say, so why don't you tell me about these times that we met? There we go. Like, what's your impression of me then? I love to hear about myself.
Well, it's just, I suppose, in our first few meetings, when our marriage was initially being discussed.
Our marriage, right. Continue.
You seemed sort of reserved, very much in reflection of myself and within the social circles that we move. However, in the last few times, you seemed, I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but boisterous by comparison.
I see. Yeah, and then if you want to spend a resolve token from Hudson, she'll tell you she's Anne, and if you don't, she won't.
Oh, wow, that's so good for drama, though. Yeah, I will spend that resolve token.
Okay,
100%.
I'm gonna receive that resolve token from Hudson because this is going against my interest. But it's also, I don't know. So it's not. It's good to make trouble for your character, and she's gonna officially tell Hudson, "Come with me," and they're gonna go to the other side of the pie table, the dark side that no one enters, and it's got fruit
In the shadow
on it.
of the pie table.
Yeah, fruit. And so, yeah, so they are kind of alone, and she says, "So you're my fiance.
To the best of my knowledge, I am.
Oh gosh, you're so brave. I can see why Sadie agreed to this. So I must, out of a subscription to society, reveal that, despite my fetches, I have to tell the truth. It would be improper of me to marry you without revealing that I am not Sadie."
I'm sorry? You are not Sadie.
Oh, well, the vizard of my face. This is Sadie, but inside I am Anne Jopling, a person, a human from another place, and I experienced my own demise. And upon closing and opening my eyes, I woke up in this beautiful elven body, and I can understand why you admire it. It fits in very well with a beautiful house with hanging, I don't know how to pronounce this word, Aras? It's so, she's a lovely lady, Sadie, and she seems to have been, like, a really nice person, but, she's asleep right now, somewhere deep inside me, and I don't think it's my fault. When I left briefly to become a cat, don't ask, she didn't come back. So I think she just is genuinely hiding.
The look on Hudson's face is deep shock. The long ears are twitching a little in agitation as he tries to process that Sadie is not Sadie. So you're inside of Sadie, and Sadie is hiding somewhere beneath your consciousness. Is that correct?
'Tis as true, and there is no mistaking it. Yes.
And this is not something that your name is
Anne.
Anne. This is not something you have done intentionally to Sadie?
Oh gosh, no. And like I said, when I left, she just was asleep / a cat. So like, I'm not, like, if I left right now, you would just have a sleeping Sadie. I'm exercising her, really.
So right now you can almost see Hudson trying not to yell, "I need an old priest and a young priest." And saying, that's a lot to process.
I had to be truthful with you because, you can't marry someone with a lie. A marriage is a covenant between you and the Lord. I do the cross.
While I appreciate, I don't know what that is. While I appreciate the honesty, it is a lot to process. And perhaps I need some time to figure out what this means for me and for us. But also, do you have any way or knowledge of how we might restore my fiancée to her body and consciousness?
I'm keeping an eye out for one. So far, I know that me leaving to another body doesn't work, and that's where I am.
I see. Well, that is interesting. I will need a bit of time if you'll excuse me, Anne. I will find you later this evening, if it is agreeable.
I understand, and may I compliment again the wonderful, eras of this room and the amazing bowers of just, no, it doesn't work. Whatever. What a lovely party.
Thank you. And he sort of almost stumbles off, like he's clearly distracted, and appears to be scanning the room. And the question is, who does he see first Wraith, or Hop?
Or Portia. Oh.
He's looking for a lawyer. But Portia may interrupt him at any time, of course.
Let's have him see Hop because I'm playing Portia.
Okay. So he walks over to Hop and says, look, I understand that I made it clear earlier that this was not a time for business, but I do have your card in my pocket, and I believe I may have some pressing need to use some of my substantial wealth to an end, and it would behoove me to have some legal assistance in that expenditure.
Out of character, I'm just like, wow. The moment he finds out he's going to leave her. All right. But
That's
in character.
not what he's doing.
Oh, okay, good. Whew, I was like, dang. All right, so Hop is delighted. Hop, like, almost pees herself. She's like, yes, so excited. I'm a lawyer, and I got this client. All right, stamp it down. All right, so then Hop, who actually has the high-pitched voice. I'm having trouble keeping these voices straight.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's so hard. Hop goes, absolutely, I'm at your service. And is she carrying, like, she's got to be carrying, like, a legal pad, of course. Like,
Probably.
she's so excited right on that. And she says, how can I be of service?
I have recently discovered that someone who is very important to me may be possessed by the spirit of another, and I need to find a way and someone who can conduct research to assist in the correction of said possession so that I can resume my existing relationship.
Aww. Out of character, I'm very pleased that he does not immediately give up on her.
No, did not do that.
Okay, good. All right. Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, legally speaking, possession is technically not a crime.
Is it not theft of one's most dearest possession, their own body?
Amazingly, due to the Wizard's Accord of 49,703, possession itself is not a crime, but there is a document that needs to be filled out to demonstrate consent. So you need an official document to be filled out by the person who's being possessed in order for this to be an approved possession.
In this case, I don't believe said document exists, but more importantly, I'm not sure it's a hostile spirit per se, but I need a way to ensure the resurgence of the consciousness of my fiancée into her appropriate body. So I'm looking perhaps more for a corporate legal support in assigning and managing the resources of someone who might be able to help.
Oh, gosh, yes. Medical law is very complicated, HIPAA, you know. So we're going to have to get a physician involved and also a spiritualist and a soul searcher. And goodness, we're going to have to make a team. I can definitely get you in contact with the right people. I'm going to fill out all the paperwork. My rate is $300 an hour. And she's like, I have no idea if this is too high or too low. And she's just going for it.
Yeah. Hudson reaches into his jacket and pulls out like a fat wallet and takes out a stack of bills and puts them on top of the legal pad and says, I believe that will serve as a suitable retainer. He did not count the money.
Oh, Hop has been having the best night.
It's been a good night for Hop. No one else, just Hop.
Yeah. Portia sidles over. Ooh, what are we buying? Big spender.
Hello, Portia. I am just completing this business. I look forward to hearing from you soon, Ms. Cottonbottom.
Of course, sir. And she is on the job.
And Hudson then tries to look very put together and not let on what he has learned to this other member of their social circle. Hello, how is the party treating you?
Well, it's doing fine, but it would always be better if I was on your arm. Won't you accompany me to the dance floor?
I would be happy to, of course, take a spot on your dance card. Unfortunately, I can't get tags for Hudson, but following social conventions, Hudson politely agrees and will head off with Portia for a very polite but distracted dance.
Okay.
Like Portia can tell he's going through the motions, but his head is other places.
And her hands are
Portia's-
other places.
No, she's classy. You seem distracted, sir. Is there anything I can take off of your mind?
Oh, well, there's... Now here I want to ask a question of Sadie's player.
Yeah.
In the history of Portia and Hudson, how close are they? Is there trust there, or is Portia just moving in?
So they were potential arranged marriage partners, and Hudson looked at like a bunch of photos, like actor photos, you know, and just like picked Sadie randomly, like moved past Portia and picked Sadie, met her like 3 times. And this is the first time Hudson's met Sadie since the personality transformation. So like he's never maybe met Sadie at like formal events in the distance, or Portia at formal events in the distance, but like they haven't
But they're not
talked
close.
before.
They're not
No.
confidants.
Yeah.
You know how it is when you host an event, Portia. It's distracting. You have to make sure everybody's got is having a good time, is eating the canapes. Is the punch is flowing without being too strong. You got to make sure.
Well, of course. You're not supposed to have to manage this all alone. There's supposed to be someone assisting you. I would have thought Sadie would take a more active role, but honestly, I haven't seen her giving you the support that a man like you so aptly deserves.
Well, Sadie has been, of course, occupied with her important work with the fire-breathing kittens, and that has perhaps prevented her from being as involved as I might like her to be. I do have a staff, but as host, in the end, the deportment of the party does fall on me. Perhaps once things are more formalized between Sadie and myself, things will be different. I do hope she will be more involved at that point.
Well, I can't speak for her, but I have always felt like there should be a hostess along with the host, and if she does not feel inclined to uphold those duties, I hope you know you can count on me to step in if you require.
Well, I appreciate the offer, Portia. Your kindness knows no bounds, but
Oh, you
I
have
do
no
believe
idea,
it would
sir.
be inappropriate at this time to have such involvement from someone who is not my fiancé.
Oh, of course. I never meant any impropriety. I'm just looking out for my dear friend Sadie. Just trying to help.
Well, I appreciate that. And we'll just then go through the motions of the dance.
Yep. Finish the dance
and-
quietly and awkwardly.
Yeah. At which point, Arethor has probably wandered back into the room and is hitting the punch bowl perhaps harder than he should.
Oh gosh, yeah. And then I imagine that Hop and Wraith, like, maybe they're still there talking, and it's Marty and Oliver that have left the room together, and Rowan notices that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rowan is counting chairs, and he's like, there are 7 chairs at this table, and there are 6 chairs at this table, and there are 7 chairs at this table. I can't make it even. And you just bothered me.
Marty, should we hit the coat room real quick?
Oh, all right.
And Rowan sees Marty leave one room with Oliver and head into another, and he's gonna do an interruptus as he stomps and enters the coat room, and he goes, "Marty, such inappropriate behavior at the party. Marty,
What? I don't know what you mean. I've been an angel.
you're currently hooking up with Oliver in the coat room."
We said no such thing. We're examining these fine coats. Look at them. By the way, have you seen Oliver's sense of style? He even got me in a suit. Can you believe it?
This suit is ruined because it is on you.
Well, that's harsh.
Excuse me, but this is a lovely suit, and Marty is looking quite handsome this evening. I'm not sure who you are, but this is a fabulous man. I'll have you know. He's been... Yep.
Somebody should use a resolve token. Let's make something happen in this scene.
Okay. I don't know what yet. I'm not sure where the scene is going yet. I think we need to see more of Rowan's character here.
But yeah, let's make stuff happen. All right, so Rowan is like, you're all just a boy. You could have so much potential. Don't hang out with this louse. Is a tick hanging off of your skin. He does nothing but lay on the beach all day. He has no productivity and he changes the world nothing. He's been here for thousands of years and nothing is different because he's been here.
I can only say that I met Marty on the beach, and we've had nothing but a great time there. And when I lost my spot when the camp closed and I wasn't a lifeguard anymore, he took me in and he's taking care of me.
He took you in. He has a place. He has his own house. Really, I am shocked. You have your own house, Marty. Let me see this house.
Well, I do not have a house. I have a purpose. I've joined a group of like-minded individuals seeking to make the world a better place.
And now he is in a cult. He is shacking up with a cult. He has brought this poor innocent boy with him into the cult. Do you live with... Are you safe living with them, poor child?
We share a lovely hammock in the guild hall. In the guild hall of the Fire-Breathing Kittens, an honorable and powerful adventuring guild who fights for the forces of good. I have never had such a lovely double hammock.
Yeah, it's a double wide. It fits us both perfectly.
Someone should save you from this influence. Oliver, you said your name was. I must rescue you from the horrible Marty. I'm so ashamed to be related to him.
I love him. Leave us be.
Whoa. Now
He's
we gotta
19.
use a resolve token. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, now we do.
Okay. So I want to use a resolve token, but I don't know how. I'm
going to use a resolve
Marty.
token.
Yeah.
Oops, there goes my watch. I'm going to use a resolve token, and we'll mark it down. And
you have
I'm going
two
to
still.
say, I have 2 still.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, you seem to be so worried about Oliver, but your biggest gripe with me is always that I've never changed anything in the world. And that's true to an extent. I've never really known what I wanted to change or what I wanted to do with myself. But, Oliver's been starting to change that. We're working on changing him, not necessarily from what he was, but into who he wants to be. Oliver, how has your life changed since we met?
What's the resolve token for? Usually it's to make someone else do something. Or to make a big change on the story. Like to change,
have
meteor strikes,
So I'm wanting to use this to have a passionate plea that forces Rowan to drop his preconceived notions and open his mind.
Okay, so you want Rowan to open his mind. I will accept this resolve token because I want Rowan to have 3 because he is now the villain. And I want more power as the villain. And in exchange, I will accept this resolve token if Marty has evidence that he's done something worth opening his mind for.
Yep.
You have to make it worthwhile.
And that would be Oliver explaining how his life has changed since we met.
Do it, Oliver.
Look, before I met Marty, I was just drifting in the wind. I slept in the lifeguard hut, on the boards every night, and I just did my lifeguard thing at the camp. I did nothing all winter long, because you don't need a lot of lifeguarding when the water's frozen. And then when I met Marty and I lost my job, he took me in. He's met me. He's introduced me to the Fire-Breathing Kittens, and they're just doing such good work. And I think that, there's purpose there, and a hammock is better than a floorboard, and I've got love in my life, and, I'm on the road to something bigger. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I can do it now. And I couldn't before.
I know what you're on the road for. You always telling me that you want to inspire people, and he apparently never felt like he was able to, to follow those dreams. He always had to work. Well, now he doesn't, and he's been taking lessons. He's becoming a musician. What do you play, Oliver?
I've been I've been working on the lute. It's a tricky instrument, but I can play hot cross buns, and I can play the happy birthday song. And I've only been playing for 6 months.
And that's just the beginning. He's going to be amazing. And I'm here to do everything I can to help make him everything that he wants to be.
I'm going to spend my newly gained resolve token from Rowan Bud, and I'm going to give it back to Oliver Mason if you will accept a public performance of the lute. And I will say, I would like to use this hot cross buns. Sounds hot and cross, and I love buns.
Oliver, not as much as I do. Oliver looks around the coat room that they're in for
so
a
he's
loot
allowed to make
case.
dirty jokes. Okay.
We're in a coat room now. We're not in the ballroom. And
there
finds
probably-
a
there's
loot
probably
case.
There's probably musical instruments, like, because it's a entertainment space, right?
Of course.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Yes.
Yeah,
so
we just call
Oliver
the organizer.
will
Yeah, the
just
company.
naively accept that and agree and say, I'm really proud of my hot cross buns. I will happily play for the group.
I'm very proud of his buns too.
And we'll swagger out of the coat room
Heck
to
yeah.
go find a loot.
It's like calling the audiovisual person, to be like, hey, the PowerPoint's out. Be like, hey, we need a loot for the entertainment space. It's no problem. They're prepared. They have a loot.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to make an announcement. I'm going to tap my little champagne glass and say, hello, everyone. Yes, if I could have a moment of your attention, we have a budding new musician who would like to demonstrate his significant skills and play a little something for you all this evening. And I am going to act in obedience to society's convention in spite of hardship by offering Rowan my hand for this dance.
Whoa. Okay. I mean, Rowan's going to accept it. You don't even have to use a resolve token. Rowan's like, you learning the moves to a dance? I do not believe it. Let's test you and see this. I do not believe you have accomplished anything such as learning the dance steps.
Au
Okay.
contraire, I know them all.
All right.
Let's prove it. And he's going to test you.
Okay.
See if you can
Okay.
dance.
So I don't know if this is the right use, but I'm thinking about using the newly received resolve token of Oliver's because I think Oliver is really good. Like hot cross buns is super
Absolutely.
basic,
You
but
gotta-
there's
you gotta
all these
spend- yeah.
extra notes in there.
Yeah.
It's extended into a dance, and I want to use the resolve token for Marty to actually be good at the dance. And further that, like, this is something they've actually been doing together in the guild hall in their off time.
This is the techno remix marshmallow, Skrillex version of Hot Cross Buns. It's fully 4 minutes long because it has like do like Sandstorm, Darude, like in the middle, like the Hot Cross Buns you always wanted and needed in your life.
That's right. That's what this is.
Yep, absolutely.
And so stands up and just starts going on this lute hard.
Yeah.
Um,
You have turned yourself into something. You're a musician.
and I'm working on my songwriting. Nobody knows, but
Aw, lyrics next.
I know.
Aw, that's adorable.
so
We need some
so
music to put in here. Somebody music for a little bit.
somebody music.
We can
I
add
can't
that post-editing. So you were going to test my dancing abilities? Choose a dance. I'm ready.
We do a very complicated, like we salsa properly and the 4 steps and stuff. And wait, no, this is techno, and we're salsa.
We can salsa to techno. Who cares?
Salsa. Sure.
You can salsa at anything.
You know what? We're magical beings. We're salsaing to the speed of techno.
Yes, we are.
It's a whirlwind and it's amazing. And because that resolve token was spent, it's the delight of the party. It's the high point. Is everyone's like, wow, we like dance in the air, like we're stepping on air,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even after one of the spins, I add a little double step, like upgrade to the dance and raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, and I'm actually impressed. I thought of you as a slacker, surfer, beach bum, never able to do anything productive to society, never able to entertain or bring delight to anyone else. And here you are, and you've made Oliver pursue his dreams and produce something beautiful and artistic in the world. And you learned how to dance. And I'm like, huh. And I say to you, I wish Maeve could see you now.
Oh, thank you. It's been a while. We should catch up with her.
Maybe she also would approve of you in this way.
Marty just blushes and gives a little nod.
I know I'm not project managing this, but I'm looking at the time. We may want to, this may be a natural spot for...
Yeah, is there anything that you guys want to do? Like, look at your goals, look at your desire cards. And I think... So Sadie's desire was come into substantial wealth, ensure her reputation stays absolutely impeccable. She's kind of done the opposite. And she has revealed to Hudson that she might not be the best heir material. What was your goal, Marty? You actually did it. You accomplished
Yeah, I
your
feel
goal.
mission achieved.
Yeah. And
Arethor's probably
Arethor.
also done the opposite, I think. Has expanded the knowledge that people have of the
Yeah.
voice and the things that brought him down.
Yeah.
So I think the opposite has happened. Now he's getting drunk. So
And demonstrated bad impulse control. Oh.
And Portia just made herself awkward at Arethor. And I mean, everybody's had a chance to pursue their goals a little bit. So is this how we want to break up the big party? Are you guys okay with everyone splitting up?
Yeah?
Yeah. All right. So as Marty rises into the air, showing off his incredibly fast stepping salsa at the speed of techno for the entire crowd, that he has learned something. He can dance now. He can dance because he dances with Oliver, who is good for him, and they're growing together. And Rowan acknowledges that that beach bum finally did something with himself. And maybe he has like a little, musical prodigy that he's encouraging. And as Arethor angrily looks at his hand and drinks punch and shakes, and his cat whiskers are dripping with punch because he's, just shaking the punch glass in his face. As Hop gets a brand new contract, and as a new lawyer is charging, she doesn't really even know how much money. She's like, wow, $300 an hour. As Wraith is satisfied because he was slapped in front of people, and now Arethor is really, really not going to be able to recover from that. As Portia's like, oh no, he's not.
Portia's not doing so hot.
Accepting me. No,
She tried. She shot her shot.
She did. She did. But the truth can bond people together. And Hudson is now pursuing ways to help real Sadie get back into her body. As all of this happens, we're going to wrap up part 1. This is the end of the novel chapter phase. Thank you for joining us for part 1. Joining us for part 1, we're Marty.
Hey.
And Arethor.
hello, thanks for being here. And I also have a review to read before we head off to our break. This says from Miss Raven, as a longtime fan of this pod, I was inspired to write a new review after listening to a recent episode, Friends, Fables, and Puff Pixies. The players seemed to really enjoy the game mechanics. The characters, Arby, Bill, and Mary, made a wonderful team. Fire-breathing kittens' adventures always make me laugh, but this one is special. I found myself in a pure state of happiness. I hope to go on more adventures with this crew. Thanks so much for the review, Miss Raven.
Leave us a review on iTunes and we'll read it on air. Bye.
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 Today's mid-episode shout-out is, quote, "Big thanks to PIH healthcare hero Priya. Your dedication to saving lives every day is awe-inspiring. You're our hero." End quote. You can arrange for us to read your shout-out at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com. Did you know? We have paperback, ebook, hardcover, and audiobook adaptations of our adventures on Amazon and Audible. Is there an episode of Fire Breathing Kittens that would make someone you know smile? Telling them about it would help us quite a bit. Cheers!
Welcome back to Fire Breathing Kittens, a Good Society for this episode actual play podcast. We have a recap at this point, But now we have a formalized reputation, rumor and scandal, and epistolary phase. In the reputation phase, we are going to go over what we did last time in part 1 and assess our major character's behavior against the reputation criteria. We will create reputation tags and trigger reputation conditions if applicable, and if needed, we might remove a reputation condition. I'll start as a demonstration. I played as Sadie in part 1, and I think I did trigger a few reputation tags. Specifically, there was this one time that I shoved pumpkin pie in my face, and that's not great. So I think, and here's what I would put to you guys. Would you say that the pumpkin pie face shove acted in contravention of society's conventions?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe is it possible that I triggered the negative tag of greedy by shoveling pie in my face like little piggy?
Yes.
Yes, so I'm going to circle greedy on Sadie's The Air roll card. So she is now greedy and out of touch. Yay. Similarly, we can propose to the group that we deserve a positive reputation tag. Like that time that I introduced Marty and Oliver, and I showed how charismatic I could be, which is not something that Sadie, the original, could have done. Introducing people to a whole crowd. Now, I did say you were married. You know, I'm a little bit out of touch, but I did introduce you to the party. If only someone had done that for Hop, she would have had an easier time as a lawyer, even though it brought me considerable hardship in doing so. How do you feel?
I was not necessarily going to give points for that because it was done incorrectly. You made people assume that we were married when we definitely are not. We rolled with it, but I don't know.
Wow.
See, and I was going to give the points because you were doing a formal introduction, which is what the convention is. You just made a mistake in the introduction. So I was still going to say, yeah, you're okay.
Okay. Yeah, so that's fine.
Okay. So I'll go with maybe instead of charismatic, I'll go with devoted because I tried.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The devoted tag. I tried. Do you guys have any reputation tags that you think you got in part 1?
Well, let's see.
I recall a particular slap.
Yes. So I think I definitely got a negative reputation tag as Arethor when Arethor slapped Wraith in the face. And I would say probably that would have been stupid.
Yeah,
is the negative tag I would give myself.
Violent. We can just invent a better fitting word. Violent?
My list is like dirty, ignorant,
Right.
poor. I already have dangerous and stupid.
Oh, got it. Okay. So, I mean, if you want to stick to the list, we can.
Maybe.
I have 2 check marks for positive ones as well. And I believe one was the initial introductions with Hop and Wraith and sort of following the manners of that, which I would say is sort of obedient to the system, even though there was bad blood.
Yeah. I'll give you obedient. What do you think, Marty's player?
Yeah.
And I have another positive tag when I was introduced to Portia and kissed her hand, and I would say that was sweet.
Yeah. Hand kissing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that does give me 3 positive tags overall.
Yeah. You were willing to show others your powers, even though, you know, that was a great sacrifice to yourself for sure. Yeah. I agree.
I guess that would be open.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a 4th there. You were very sacrificing there, so that gives you a lot of positive tags.
Arethor was trying to build that relationship maybe at the expense of his own station.
Yeah, for sure.
A little distracted by seeing Hop again.
Classic Jane Austen. It was worth it to you.
Yeah, but I believe that having 3 of those tags means I can spend them.
Yeah, you have 4 now.
Yeah, so I can spend 3 for a reputation thing, can't
you don't
I?
spend them. They just, if you have at least 3, then you get to claim one of the 2 positive reputation things.
Okay.
And you can spend one in the next scene without losing the positive reputation condition, because you'll still be at 3 or above. And we would decide that at the very end of the reputation phase. So even if you spend it, you'll have it for the whole novel chapter that you're in.
Okay.
All right. So you have 2 choices. What do you have to choose from?
I am going to pick, I can pick between protege and master of gossip. And I think it will be fun to choose protege. So I can choose or create a connection to be my protege. Until I lose this condition, they desperately require me to solve every problem in their lives. And I'm thinking of Hop getting this big client and not being sure what to do with it. And although Wraith may have set her up, she needs to go to someone who might have, experience as well and just feels things rocky with Arethor, but goes to Arethor.
Do you know, just to help set this up better, do you have an explanation for why she's going to you and not Wraith?
I think that there's still a history between Hop and Arethor that were there. She was his assistant, so she saw him work on cases all the time, and maybe he has experience, also with the occult in his background, and has maybe done some reading and research since since gaining his voice, and so thinks that maybe he could help.
So because this is a law, and plus because she knows, or she thinks that you're a sorcerer, maybe when it comes to occult law, you are the only person she thinks can actually help.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I like it. Okay. Yep.
So we're gonna have to do something to establish that. So I'm writing down like scene prompts, and I'm gonna say Hop becoming your protege, Arethor's protege, is gonna have to be something we like act out in part 2. That's gonna be one of the visitations.
Yeah, and it's my hope then that might also help work towards Arethor's desire of restoring his position.
Yeah. I mean, it's a way to continue talking to that woman that you loved who left you because of your magic powers. Yep. Okay, so I accept that. And how about Marty's player?
Yeah, so I'm looking through here. I think that I have earned 2 positive tags. I think I have demonstrated caring probably twice. Caring about Oliver and wanting to uplift him, give him credit, give him the spotlight, showing that I'm just throughout life caring for him.
Yeah, which of the 3 reputation criteria did you meet?
Sorry, the 3 reputation. Denied your desires to or made a sacrifice to uphold the family, not quite the family name, but his name. So I took no credit for any of the changes that I have made to Rowan. I made it all out like it was all Oliver enacting these changes on me.
Yeah, okay.
So I gave up credit for that.
Yeah, all right, you have the caring tag.
Yep. And then I was also going to use the dependable tag because I acted in the service of morality. In a way that compromised my own desires. I was having a great time on the dance floor, and I gave it up to go and help with that whole situation of, is this person sorcering everyone, and went to go help with that instead of staying on the dance floor where I wanted to be, which I think would earn me the dependable tag.
Definitely. They depended on you to go with them. So now that you have 3 positive tags, which reputation condition would you like to activate? What are your 2 options?
My 2 options are the unexpected connection. A wealthy, famous, or aristocratic connection you made abroad comes to town. Create them as a connection. While this connection is active, you remain in their favorite. Or quite indebted. Choose a connection. Until this condition is erased, this connection is in your debt for good deeds that you performed while away. So I feel like we don't need to add any more characters. So I'm going to go with quite indebted. And I am going to choose that Rowan is indebted to me at this time because he feels bad for how he misjudged me.
Okay.
Oh, and I did earn the negative tag. I already had it, but it's tasteless, right? That definitely happened. Embarrassing the family name. Yep.
If you already had it, you might get a different one instead.
None of the other ones on this list apply. Old-fashioned, miserly.
Like it's just a prompt, so you can write one down.
We'll say oblivious.
Okay.
Oblivious to the situation.
Okay. All right. I'm wondering if Sadie doesn't have like another negative reputation tag for the way that she called a certain person a certain name in her mind for dancing with her fiance. Like,
But it was in her mind, right?
yeah.
Like it wasn't something that happened socially out loud.
Yeah, I called her a skank. I don't know if Sadie called her a skank. It definitely was not in it was in contravention of society's conventions. What a tongue twister. I don't know, or was that is any rudeness to Portia like a negative tag? Like, I don't know.
I think if it's public rudeness, it would be for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, she did at one point. Did I reject a heartfelt request for help, or was that one of my people? I think somebody did. There was a time when I was like, oh yeah, was that for lawyer services? That was Rowan. Okay, yeah, Rowan rejected a heartfelt request for help, so that wasn't Sadie. Okay, so I'm good on negative tags then. Okay, I activate no reputation conditions. That's probably good because I would make myself a black sheep of the family or not marriageable materials. That's great. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. Just one more reputation tag and something very bad would have happened. All right. So now we are in the inner conflict part of the game. This is normally done at the very end, but we only have a one shot, so I'm just adapting the rules to us doing this now because doing it at the very, very end doesn't make sense. The inner conflict is when we do something that teeter-totters the teeter-totter away from level and pushes one side up and one side down. Personally, I have my duty to Sadie versus my brash survival. I would say that I did two things to my duty to Sadie this time. One is I put down the pie, and I sacrificed something very important to myself the moment I realized that Sadie wouldn't do this. So I would like to argue for a resolve token for that. And the second thing that I did is I took action in pursuit of my duty to Sadie by telling Hudson that I was Anne, even though I would love to not be kicked out of this body, and that goes directly conflicts with my need for survival as a wandering spirit. So I'm arguing for me getting 2 resolve tokens, which would put me at 5, and quite in control of the story in part 2. What do you guys think?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. Inner conflict, I'm torn between ethical behavior and entertaining mischief. And I think Arethor was pretty ethical in the way that I handled everything with Hop in the room.
To your own detriment.
So I would say that I sort of sacrificed something important to me for that, which would gain me a resolve token. But I also think that the slapping of Wraith could be construed as entertaining mischief.
All right. Yeah, 2 resolve tokens, and you kept it balanced.
All right,
Marty,
puts me at 3.
did you... Yeah, yes. Yeah, you're at 3 now. Yep.
Yes.
Marty.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
We're doing inner
What is the
conflict.
question? I know. So I think that my inner conflict right now is about the nature of the relationship with Oliver, because on the one hand,
It's written down
there
on
is
your
a lot
sheet.
of...
You have a need for meaning versus the need for relaxation.
Oh, I
Doesn't
thought it was
change.
more specific.
No,
okay.
it's on your sheet.
Oh, always the sheet. Okay.
Yep. So how many resolve tokens do you currently have?
How many do I have left?
Mm-hmm.
1.
Okay. How you would get more of those is you would argue for having done up to 2 things on that checklist under the inner conflict. See it?
Yes. So I took action in pursuit of this. I did take action. I put action into encouraging Oliver to become a musician and play for the group.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I did not
1
sacrifice
return.
anything important.
So one resolve token from the need for meaning, for sure. Yes.
I degraded my reputation, again, taking no credit for any of the changes that Rowan sees in me and attributing those all to Oliver.
It's not a degrading of your reputation. You got better off in Rowan's eyes because of that. Yeah. Personally, I don't know. What do you think, Arethor? Did he degrade his reputation?
I think that overall reputation improved.
Yeah.
Okay, so no. Your actions in pursuit of this side of the conflict destroyed your chance of successfully pursuing another. No, because we could still relax. Okay, so I guess I just get 1.
All right. If you feel that 1 is appropriate, I agree. So you have 2 resolve tokens and 1 monologue token still that you haven't made anybody monologue.
Yeah.
You might be being lied to. You should use your monologue token to make someone tell you the truth.
Okay.
Maybe Oliver's just with you for the hammock.
I know, I could ask him. He just said he loves me. That was a first. That's big.
Gotta love 19-year-old naivete.
I know, right?
He really means it. So, we are now ending the reputation phase. We remove any reputation conditions if you dipped below 3, but we're not doing a long form game, so this is our first novel chapters, so that's fine. Next, we're doing the rumor and scandal phase. Honestly, my favorite part of the game. So, you know the public information sheet? You should both pull that up.
Mm-hmm.
There's some rumors there. One of the rumors is used that Arethor was unfaithful and pursued another. It made Portia judge Arethor. The other rumor is that Arethor was fired from his law firm lawyer job for using occult powers to influence the outcome of cases. I feel like we used that, even if we didn't.
Kinda.
Yeah, even if we didn't
It would definitely
say
came up.
we used it. Yep. Okay, so we're out of rumors. Time to make some more rumors. Rumors can be about anything you want. They can be like, I hear that Marty has a history of dumping people because they get fat. And the moment Oliver's not 19 and a lifeguard and he starts to get a paunchy belly, Marty's going to dump him. It could be a rumor like literally anything. We're going to go around in a circle. It's going to be Arethor and then Marty and then me again. So I go twice and then Marty and then Arethor. You can either create a rumor or make the rumor spread, which makes it actionable. Those are your two choices this time. So creating a rumor is you just write something down on that public information sheet. You should all be able to type on it. And just tell me what you type. I've got a printed one here. I'm just going to write on it. And or you can spread it. And if you spread it, then it's basically like there's a resolve token on it. It can momentously change the story.
All right. How do I pull up the... 'cause this is the one that we had to get access to before, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't want that, you can just write it down. You got a pen? But
Yeah.
the public information sheet, it
I'll just write
summarizes.
it. It's somewhere up in there.
Could you send the link?
Huh?
Could you send the link, Arethor's player? But again, I just have a pen and a piece of paper. So if you guys just have a pen and a piece of paper, you can just write it down. I'm not looking at that doc.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just write it down.
2 shakes. And I can send the link.
It's okay. We'll just write it down.
I like non-technological answers anyways.
Yep, I have pen. So I'm ready to write down. There's no current rumors to spread, so Arethor's player must create a rumor.
You
So
just make that one?
I'm going to play off of your suggestion, Sadie. And I'm going to say that I want to make life hard for Marty because things have been too smooth for Marty. So I'm going to say that Marty has a history of leaving as soon as someone says, I love you too fast.
Oh, dang. All right, I'm writing that down. Marty has a history of leaving as soon as someone says, I love you too fast. I feel like that's a rumor someone should, in confidence, tell Oliver when Oliver's alone. And then he can confront Marty about it. I'm definitely going to spread that when it's my turn. Okay, I wrote it down. Do you guys need more time to write it down?
No.
No, I have it.
Cool. Marty.
All right. My rumor is that Sadie is getting cold feet about the engagement.
Okay. I wrote that down. You guys write that down?
I did.
Great. It's my turn, so I'd like to create a rumor. My rumor, first I'm going to take an action and I'm going to spread the one that Marty has a history of leaving as soon as someone says, I love you too fast. And then I'm going to create a rumor that possession of the tinfoil hat of Red Skirt prevents mind control.
The tinfoil hat of Red Skirt?
Trickster backwards, Red Skirt.
And it prevents?
Like when you wear it, you can't be mind controlled.
Okay.
Marty's player, you can now either spread one of those rumors, which will make them affect the game if we want, or create a new one. That, if Arethor's player spreads, could exist. You don't know.
Okay, so these are only actionable if they're spread.
Correct.
And so far, only the Marty leaves when people get clingy is actionable.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put a dash next to that. I am going to spread the tin hat one.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's what I was going to do. Okay, so if I create a rumor, it dies on the table as the last one.
Yeah, so this is a one-shot. So in a one-shot,
Right.
yes. But in a long-form game, it would be there for us to spread next time.
Each cycle.
Yeah.
Unless no one pays attention to it for a cycle.
And then it fades out slowly and then it gets removed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for this time, really, you can just choose whether or not you want to spread the Sadie's getting cold feet.
It's up to you.
And I will. And then there's a rumor that affects each of us.
Yep.
Because all the rumors were Arethor focused in that first novel phase.
I noticed, which was weird.
It's because his desire card starts him out with rumors. Interestingly, if you want to listen to the companion episode, Armando had the same desire card and also started out with rumors. Yeah. Some people start out with like a forced family member like Marty did. And some people start out with rumors and some people start out with like, it depends, you know.
Yeah. It makes sense why things were so tough for Arethor at the beginning. Because they had to be negative rumors.
Yeah. Maybe things will get better for you now. We'll find out. So,
Oh, fingers crossed.
we have completed the rumor and scandal phase of the recap. The last phase of the recap before we roleplay again is called the epistolary. You know how we just got resolve tokens from this cleverly positioned / infuriatingly positioned, depends on who's listening to this podcast, positioning of the inner conflict phase. So now we have more reputation or resolve tokens. Anyway, we have more resolve tokens now, so you can spend them on the epistolary phase. Write up to 2 letters from a major character or a connection. These letters can be literally anything you want. So for example, the Publishers Clearinghouse can show up on your front step with a giant check for $10 million. That's what you can have as your letter. You just spend one of your resolve tokens and you make it happen. Or you can write a letter from one person to another person, but and it could be really from them or it could be like a fake. So an example would be like someone could send a letter, conniving Portia could send a letter from Sadie to Hudson saying that she's with these 2 other men, or no, a man and a woman, Colette and Marty. Oh yeah, she never confronted Sadie or Hudson about that. Anyway, so you could have some meddling happening there. You could send a letter from yourself, or you could receive a letter. Anything you want to do. So you can send and receive up to 2 letters in this phase.
Gotcha.
I will happily spend a resolve token for Arethor to receive a letter from Hop, indicating that she has taken on a client in Hudson Steinhauser, who has this case that may be a little over her head, and she thinks that she could use the help to connect to that sort of protege, part of the reputation change, and that my connection with the occult could be of great assistance, and could we meet?
Ooh, I would like to propose something.
Yes.
Instead of meeting, she wants to write to you about the case in letters. Because written Arethor she trusts. Spoken
That's
Arethor
fair.
she doesn't trust.
I was hoping to bring up the tinfoil hat in a meeting. So we could bring that up in a letter, I suppose.
Yeah, you can write a letter back. We're in letter writing phase. Let's do it. And you'd be like,
And so it's a resolve token for each letter.
Yeah.
And so the first one I've received from Hop is asking for assistance via letter.
I will roleplay it. My dearest maybe Arethor, I am writing to you because I have come upon a fantastic opportunity. Hudson Steinhauser would like to hire me at no small cost to represent him and his interests in solving an occult problem. However, the occult problem is far out of my depth, and you are the only lawyer that I know with any experience in the incredibly magical. I realize that meeting with you is perhaps to my detriment because of your magic voice powers, so perhaps we can correspond with one another in print. Would you please kindly advise me as to occult law, Arethor? My former, signed your former assistant, now lawyer. Very formal, very I'm not in love with you anymore. I'm just writing to you in a professional reach out.
Okay. And so if I want to send a letter back, I need to spend another resolve token?
Yeah.
Ugh.
gonna be a
Okay,
very
so
short
that's my
string of
second
letters.
letter.
And there's only two max letters, but I think they're important letters, don't you?
I will happily respond and spend a second of my 3 resolve tokens. Yikes. And draft a letter back that says, "My dearest Hop, of course I am happy to correspond with you in any way that you desire, and I am happy to advise along any case in which I may be of assistance. I would like to suggest that perhaps face-to-face meetings over legal texts could be a better way to do this, but I understand your reticence in wanting to meet concerning my voice. I would like to offer that I have heard of something called the tinfoil hat of Red Skirt, which, if you do have its possession, can protect from any sort of mind control. I am unsure of where it is, but it may allow you to feel safer with me should you find it. Until then, I am happy to correspond via letter. Sincerely, dearest, Arethor Gowick."
Interesting. So we got to have a scene where we find the tinfoil hat of Red Skirt and give it to Hop. Okay, cool. Arethor's got a quest now.
Yep.
Who else wants to write a letter?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this only our main characters, or can our non-player characters write letters?
Any character you want.
Oh, well, then I'm going to have Portia write a letter.
Oh.
Spend one of her resolve tokens. She just has 1 now. Okay. And I'm going to have her write an anonymous letter to Hudson detailing how Sadie has taken up a menage a trois with Marty and Colette, and that this is an irrefutable fact, that it was observed and she admitted to it when he wasn't there.
Oh, dang. Hudson, what do you do when you receive this letter?
Hudson, I think, is shocked when receiving this letter initially, but remembers that Sadie is not Sadie right now. Good thing. And said something. And I can't send a letter back because I'm out of that option, and I've sent my 2 letters. So Hudson's got his own resolve tokens. Hudson will send a letter back. Sorry, I forget that I'm playing multiple characters with their own pools.
It's 2 for total.
It was anonymous.
And we're setting
there's no
up
letter
the
back.
scene. Yeah, so we're setting up the novel chapter that's about to happen. So you can make a plan. Like Hudson's going to go confront Sadie or something.
Hudson is going to have a conversation with Anne, Sadie, asking if Anne has been inappropriately using Sadie's body for these relations with 2 other people.
Okay, I've written that down. We'll have that scene in part 2. We're setting up things to do in the novel chapter phase that is to come. That's going to be interesting.
Yep.
You have received a letter. Marty's player, do you want to send or receive any other letters?
I don't think Marty wants to, because Marty, I think, isn't really much of a political maneuverer. So I think he's just reacting to other people's drama. I don't think he's trying to start anything.
Is he receiving any letters? Like, you had outstanding student loan debt and now you're in debt. Or you, any Wraith stuff going on? What's Wraith up to?
I guess we can receive an anonymous letter, or not anonymous. And I guess I'll have him receive a letter from, maybe from Maeve, that she's heard about Oliver and that she is concerned because we both know that humans don't last very long, and that it's ill-advised to start a romantic relationship with someone who's just a blip on our lifespans.
Aww, tragic.
All right, so now Marty has 1 resolve token. But yeah, that can add some fire to this drama between those 2.
Yeah. It's funny that you kind of did the unexpected connection thing to bring Maeve into the story, despite not taking that one. Like, if you read that is basically Maeve. That's funny. Famous, wealthy, or aristocratics, that's your your favorite cousin. Connection you made abroad arrives in town. Create them as a connection. While this condition is active, you remain their favorite. So they come out of concern for you. That's cute. Do you want Maeve to be in the part? Do you want to talk to Maeve?
I mean, I just don't know who would roleplay her. We already have so many characters.
That's true. All right, so we won't. All right, well, so you have received that letter. How's that going to impact you now?
It is going to make me second guess the relationship and wonder how invested I should be.
All right, we'll deal with that in part 2. Conversation between you and Oliver. Oliver, you're too close to dying. And the 19-year-old's going to be like, what? Yeah, good times. All right. Did I do letters? No, I should. Okay, I receive a letter from Hop to Sadie. And it is a cease and desist to cease and desist improper usage of body because I do not have the paperwork for occupying the body and that I need to submit proper forms or face a court summons. So that's going to be stressful. I'm going to have to probably talk to my friends, Arethor and Marty, about what to do. So what to do about court summons. Because improper use of body. I'm in some legal trouble. Uh-oh. And then probably want to tell Hudson, hey, why'd you tell people? Yeah. And lastly is a letter to Rowan Budd from the Spirit of Winter.
Which one?
The orderly one. And it's going
Frida?
to... Oh, God, don't name them. So what was their name?
Both of the winter characters are named. It's Jack and Frida.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, gosh, yeah, I know her. So Frida Frost sends a letter to Rowan and the Spirit of Spring, the orderly one, and is like, I heard that you gave your blessing to Marty, the lackadaisical summer spirit, and I'm incredibly disappointed with you, and I can't believe that you were nice. And she told him not to come to the big New Year's party that all of the spirits gather at every year. Because once a year they hang out. You know, they live a long time, so they meet up once a year. And she told him uninvited from the party, as is Marty.
Oof. Sounds like her.
So there's some drama there. And unless he can get Marty to do something that a great magical event that proves that he is amazingly in control of his powers. Because when spirits start acting different than their personality, they lose touch with their powers and they fade away, and then a new spirit gets made. So when their personality changes too much, they die. So if he's still in contact with his magic powers and true to himself and in touch with his core, then Marty would be able to do a great magical feat. And that would prove to her that he's not endangering himself with this weird new behavior of his.
Okay.
Because she's worried about her siblings dying. And as nature spirits, they can't really die the good old-fashioned way. They die because they fade out. All right. Like Gaia, their parents, as you've established, is dead. Marty's player killed Gaia. Remember?
I killed Gaia?
In a past episode, yeah. Your mom's dead. Anyways.
I don't remember killing her, but
yeah,
okay.
because you said that her spirit faded away. She's really old.
Oh, yeah, because people stopped worshiping her.
Yeah. When you change, people don't worship you anymore, and then you lose your magic powers. All right. So if Marty changes too much, people will stop worshiping the fun, carefree days of summer, and he will die.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So so Rowan now has an important message for you that he's concerned about your life, because Frida reminded him. Well, that was a long-winded improv thing. Anybody else got any more letters? Nope. Let's go. The next part is the novel chapter where we're going to set the scene and start play, but each of these are small scenes that are sort of happening in split at the same time. Do you guys have any scenes that you want to do? I've got a list of suggestions.
I mean, it sounds like the ones that I've got are Marty talking to Rowan about the concerns and Marty having a talk with Oliver.
Yeah, let's start there.
Okay. Are we still at this party?
No, the party has ended. The party was over last night. You're waking up the next day, and everybody is, like, hungover, tired.
We've had time to write letters and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it could have been a minute.
Yeah, it's the day after the party, day after. So it's 2 days after the party.
Yeah, these are emails.
Yeah. 2 days after the party. Marty and Oliver are, what are you guys up to? Going on a date?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Maybe this is prompted by Oliver saying, I love you again.
Okay, sure. Let's say it's going
to be one of those
having a picnic.
dinners.
The rumor is out there.
Gotcha.
Wait, are we supposed to have the Marty Oliver scene first, or would it make more sense to do the Marty with Rowan scene first?
Ah, yes. So that you can also talk to, yeah. All right. So Rowan knocks on the guild hall door and is like, ugh, this place has dust all over it and grime. And he very resignedly knocks on the door, which then sprouts a twig, springtime.
Uh-huh. I answer the door. Rowan, what a nice surprise. Won't you come in?
Ugh, do I have to?
Well, no, you don't have to. I thought you would like it though. Look at all the exposed wood beams in this. You love this.
He gestures around and vines cover the exposed wood beams.
I guess that's good too.
It's a houseplant lover's dream now. I suppose I can work with this. You live here? It's a bar.
Yeah. It's nice to focus and have everyone together. It really helps with going on quests.
Okay. Communal living. It's a cult. I got it. So where is this Oliver? I need to speak to you alone. Just me and you, the nature spirits.
Sure. I think Oliver's still sleeping. Yeah. Where do you want to go talk?
Let's snap our fingers and be in a glade 1,000 miles away, and we'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay. He steps into a giant flower pod and goes into a glade 1,000 miles away with you.
Yep.
Okay.
I travel on a sunbeam, but I'm still there.
Frida sent me a letter.
Oh, what does she want?
Oh, you know her. She's really quite frigid.
Mean.
Yeah.
Mean. Yes. Mean. Yes.
But she also is very aware of the rules. Even more than me, I respect her completely. And she reminded me that my approval of you is distressing because if you change, you might lose your worshippers and you might die. So she said, in her way, she uninvited us from the annual party as she does.
It's not even her party. She can't do that.
She's quite frigid, shall we say. So
we could always melt her.
You two have never gotten along.
Why would we? We'll get Maeve to help.
I don't know if Maeve gets along with her either. I try to bridge between you the best I can. I always have.
I know.
She thinks that it's possible you might die because you have changed, and that only a great demonstration of magic by you will convince her that you are still in touch with your core.
Well, nothing's ever happened to my magic. Why would she even think that?
Because it is the temptation to relax and that need to do nothing that makes you who you are. When you add meaning to Oliver's life, this is a deviation from your core purpose.
Okay, I suppose that's true. But, don't I get credit for, bringing down solar flares to destroy the camp a month ago? Like, what more demonstration does she want? What, she want a tsunami?
That was before he said he loved you.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that.
If you do not relax as much as it drives me insane, totally up the wall. But if you do not relax, you may lose yourself and fade away.
So what do you suggest I do now?
You need to do something. I'm not sure what, but you need to demonstrate to Frida that you have immense magical power like you always have. Because you can both relax and have meaning and purpose and contribution to society. I'm rooting for you, really, honestly. Don't die.
I'm still really on this melt her idea. I really think I need to go show her those solar flares again right on her ice castle and shut her up for a good long time. I think I could get at least 100 years out of this.
Oh, summer and winter. You remind me of myself in fall. What can we say? We just have opposites. I know,
you hate it when they kill all your creations.
Gosh darn them. And I grow vines out of spite. It's so true. Well, anyways, so Just keep your eyes open. You know, you have that adventuring hall. Maybe someone will need you for a quest. I don't know. But demonstrate immense magical power and we'll be invited back for Christmas.
Okay, we can make that happen.
I'm actually rooting for you for once. Don't mess Oliver up.
You know, I'm really trying, but thank you.
And he disappears into a giant flower.
Oh, I'll zip on back to the guild hall.
All right. Scene. So next up, got lots of scene options. How about the Hop Arethor one?
So Arethor has heard about this tinfoil hat, but doesn't have it, right? It's still just something rumored. So we'll probably take a moment, maybe before going to see Hop, to see if he can substantiate this. So he maybe goes to discuss with other people from Fire Breathing Kittens to see if anyone else has heard of this or can help him find it before he goes to see Hop. So maybe a scene with Sadie and Marty and Arethor first before he goes to see Hop.
Yeah, totally.
So if we set it in the guild hall, Marty's returned on a sunbeam, and Arethor is there with Sadie. It says, I'm so glad you're both here. I've heard of the thing. I know there was a bit of a scene at the party with myself and Wraith, and there was a crowd there. But I'd like very much to make Hop feel at ease when she's with me. And I've heard of this item that might help, and I'm hoping some of you might as well. It's called the tinfoil hat of Red Skirt. Is there any chance either of you might have heard of it and know where I might obtain it?
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you know where I can get it?
Well, Frida has it. She uses it when she's training new recruits for her sexy battle wizards cult.
Oh.
You're all like, I'm not going to throw in more NPCs. Throws in another NPC. It could have been in a cave.
I know, but now I get to burn down a castle.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah.
If you could perchance get it from your sibling, it would be ever so helpful to me.
Well, I don't know if I am getting it from her cousin, not sibling. But yeah, we could.
Absolutely.
I would very much request that I join you because it would appear I have received some legal documents that I need to skip town for a while. I wouldn't want to be caught with my dressing around my downgift. With my dressing downgift. Need to leave town before they catch me.
If you'd like, I'd be happy to look at any legal documents you've received.
I fear it...
Maybe a conflict of interest?
Well, I haven't told you guys that I'm in. Have I? So, I fear it might be of a personal matter that perhaps when I am out and about in the bowers with the trees and the sunlight, I will know what to do then. I just need a moment to process and formulate my response.
Of course. Well, I'm always here.
I appreciate that, Arethor. You're a good friend, true and just.
Well, I try.
Yeah. So, are we all proceeding then?
Rapidly. Let's
All
make
right.
haste. I need to get out of town.
I open a portal.
Okay. I step into the portal.
As do I.
Yes. And we all step out onto a bleak, snowy cliffside. There's a big ice castle up ahead. And there's an ice castle.
I just want to raise the stakes and point out to everyone, listeners and players, that Marty has one truth token, monologue token, and one resolve token. Portia has one resolve token. Wraith has one resolve token. Arethor has one resolve token. Hudson has one resolve token. And Oliver has one resolve token. So, lols. And so does Rowan. Only one resolve token. So it's just Sadie sitting on 4, and Hop has 2. And otherwise, we are we're at the whims of the story. Yeah. So I'm gonna give a resolve token to one of you two and make your character do something if you'll accept the resolve token and accept doing it. And I'm going to say that...
Ooh, you could make Marty be polite to Frida.
Yes, but that would make the player have less fun. So I want to make Marty end this by being friends with Frida. So I'm gonna push you towards an ending. You can burn her stuff down, but I want you guys to be friends. So if you accept this token, Marty, do you accept this token and you just end
Sure.
the scene friends with Frida? I'm not sure how it's gonna happen. And then Arethor, you can roleplay as Frida if you want. She's just
She's Elsa, but mean.
yeah, just as pretty.
And
Totally
very
mean.
vain. Doesn't like people who aren't pretty.
Yeah, she'll judge you if you're not wearing the right clothes.
Well, and Arethor's not. And Arethor's... It might be better if someone else, because Arethor might want to make the request of Frida.
Okay, I'll roleplay.
I can play her. Oh, okay.
Okay. So, Sadie will be like, "Oh, look, a butterfly," and chase after literally nothing, and just like, "I need some time to think," and
Just
go
happy
hang
to be
out
out of town.
in a Bowers. Yeah, she's just over there. So,
Sure.
all right. So I'm prepared to be ice, frigid.
Yeah. Yeah. You've done it before. I guess I will knock on the door.
Knock, knock, knock. At first, nothing happens. And then the ice next to the door gets extra shiny and extra shiny and reflects to your face a mirror. And then your face resolves into Frida's face. Picture Elsa, but mean. She has a magical, like, screening system. She's got the Ring doorbell. and she goes, "Oh, it's you."
Yeah, it's me. I heard about your letter. What the hell?
You're on a path to fade away just like Mom.
Says who?
Says me. I know quite a lot, you know. I'm very old and wise. You're only 5,000 years old. You're just not as old as me. And she's like that twin that's like one day older. She's like
We're the same age.
a couple days older than you. And she's just like, "But you're irresponsible. You spent your time laying on a beach and you haven't learned anything."
I've learned how to open this castle if I need to.
"Let's see you." And the whole thing goes blank ice. "I don't think you still have your powers."
All right.
Marty, I'm not sure this is going to get us what we need. Perhaps before you burn down, melt her castle, we could try and get the hat?
Well, I wasn't going to melt all of it.
I mean, I'll take your lead. I've never met the woman, but...
She respects shows of power. You can't be nice with her.
Ah, well, very well. May I try something?
By all means.
And Arethor knocks on the door.
Her face appears in the ice.
Hello, I don't believe we've met. My name is Arethor, and I'm hoping to have a conversation with introductions made by your cousin Marty. And then with all of the power of my voice behind me, I'll say to Frida, "So I believe you should let us in for an audience."
What are you wearing?
I'm still in that same suit. I don't have a lot anymore.
Oh, the same suit. And as we've demonstrated with Marty, your powers don't work on the spirits of the seasons.
Yeah.
She smiles at you and goes, "Oh, mind-controlling magic, how quaint." And the screen goes blank. "You might want to get a new suit."
All right, Marty, I tried. Ball's in your court.
This is very on brand for Frida, by the way.
Yeah, it really is. Marty gestures towards the sun and tries to channel as much of his essence as he can and create a path for the plasma from the surface of the sun right down onto her door and blast it open.
This sounds like a big impact on the story. Do you want to spend a resolve token?
I just want to resolve token for this?
Yeah. You're changing
All right,
the story.
fine. I will spend my last resolve token.
No, I gave you one if you want to
0.
end this as friends with Frida, remember?
Oh, yeah, that put me at 2. So now I'll have 1 left. Okay. All right. So yeah, I will spend that and I will channel a portion of the sun directly onto the front of her castle.
Describe what happens.
There is a huge amount of hissing steam that billows out, and when the steam clears, there is a gaping hole in the front of her castle about 20 feet across. There are multiple exposed rooms.
Ooh. I can imagine that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gosh, I guess you guys walk right in.
Yep, I walk right in and I call up the stairs. So you were saying about my lack of power?
She comes down an elegant stairway, like double wide stairway. It curls to the left and to the right. Stairs. And as she walks down, her feet don't slip on the ice. She has total control. Oh, she's wearing high heels, of course. And her hand slides down the railing and she looks at the rumpled, not first use suit. And it's slightly shiny because it's been ironed. And she's like, "This is the company you're keeping now, Marty?
At least I have company.
Better to be alone than poorly accompanied."
Well, maybe temporarily, but you've been at it for a long time, hun.
Arethor just looks kind of sheepish and says, this is not who I truly am, but perhaps I've had a bit of a fall in station. I'm hoping you might be able to assist in repairing that station.
I'm going to use my monologue token. I have one. I can spend it once during the game. I spend it on Marty. And I'm going to ask him a question of, why are you changing for a pathetic little human? Maeve talked to me about this. She's been with them before, and she says that they only last like 100 years. And you're changing yourself? You're adding meaning to the world? You, the surfer bum? Why are you doing this for Oliver in particular?
I'm not doing it for Oliver or anyone else. I'm doing it for me. I think that we've all been limiting ourselves for a long time, and I think that all of us can learn to grow. Jack did it, and he's doing well. Clearly his power isn't failing, as we all saw recently. And I think that if we want to stay relevant, if we want to avoid fading away like mom and dad, then we have to learn to grow with the time.
Innovation. Huh. And that's the truth, by the way, because you used a monologue token. Wow. Okay. I'm impressed. Either player thought you were going to be like, I love Oliver. But it's almost better that you're doing it for yourself. That's cool. So Frida's impressed. Frida's like, innovation. From a surfer bum. Color me surprised. But she's pleased. She won't ever compliment you.
No.
It's not possible. Especially summer versus winter. Like, it's not happening. You guys communicate in different ways. But she does say, well, I'll see what you can do. You have my support. How can I help you?
I need a hat. You're good at fashion.
I knew you came here for something. You wouldn't have come here for no reason. Of course you came here for something. A hat, you say?
Yes. Yeah, take it away.
We're looking for, and have heard you might be in possession of the tinfoil hat of red skirt. As you can see, as you already noticed, I do have some sort of power. I don't truly understand it. I've come to calling it the voice. But I have someone who is afraid I am unduly influencing them, and I'd like to be able to set them at ease.
Oh yes, I use that when I'm training people for my flying school of magic. It's part of the ensemble. We have jewelry, we have hat pins and cloaks and rings and necklaces and types of rings you would never even dream of. I'll get it straight away. So she goes and gets you a tinfoil hat. It is a tinfoil hat. It looks like a tinfoil hat. It does not look super fancy like she is. It looks out of place here. It looks kind of like it's of goblin creation. Trickster, Ratskirt, is a goblin god. And the lack of mind control is something that I think they would find funny. You know, a tinfoil hat that works is kind of amusing. She hands it to you.
Arethor reaches out 2 hands to accept it. I'm ever so grateful. Thank you so much, Frida.
Yeah, just bring it back when I'm training my next class. It'll be next winter. The best season.
Happy to oblige.
And Marty?
Yes?
If you do fade away, there'll be a different spirit of summer, I'm sure. Don't fail.
Well, life goes on, with or without us.
Scene.
Okay. Let's go home, guys.
All right. Okay.
Make sure we pick up Sadie on the way back.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget her. Who knows what she'll do if she's stranded in the middle of nowhere. She'll be like, oh, look, an octopus creature. Will you give me a ride home? Come into this reality. Cthulhu's like, yes, I will.
Yeah, it would go bad for sure.
It would go bad. So now we are back. What's next?
We have
Hudson confronting Sadie/Anne about the three-way / use of Anne's body. Marty second-guessing the longevity of Oliver. What to do about the court summons because of proper use of body. We kind of did that. She's just going to take a little break. She's just going to dodge the law, as one does.
She's not getting Arethor's help, at least.
No.
There's Arethor, Hop, Hudson, Sadie, I think are the big ones, and then Marty, Oliver.
Yeah.
We haven't really done much with Sadie yet, so let's do that one next.
Okay. Sadie returns to the guild hall, having resolved to... So she has a duty to stay in town and use Sadie's body for what Sadie would have wanted, but she also doesn't want to go to jail. And jail back in the day would just kill you. Like a rat would bite you and you'd get the plague and it'd be bad. So, or you'd like starve to death or get typhoid or... So she's like, no, not jail. She will not go to jail. Death before jail.
When you return to the guild hall, Hudson is at the bar already, looking a little bit disheveled. Necktie is undone. Collar is open. He's got a drink.
I love it. I've driven you to drink.
and it's still morning.
Yeah.
And he sees Sadie
Packing a
and
bag.
says, yeah,
He sees Sadie packing a bag.
Sadie, please, we need to converse. And Sadie, I'm sorry, I'm still figuring all of this out. Please, we need to talk.
She looks caught in the act, and she sets down the bag, and she pokes the air, and like a kangaroo appears, and she puts it in the kangaroo's pouch, and the kangaroo follows her around, carrying, like Kangaskhan Khan style, like carrying the bag. And she goes, I owe you that. Yes, I will explain. She walks up to the bar and orders something Sadie would never order. A dark beer.
Yeah, I can see that you are not the Sadie I remember. I do think you should know that I have retained the services of a lawyer to try and help figure out how we can remove you safely and return Sadie to consciousness.
So it was you! She slams down the paper, the threat of court summons on the table, and goes, you're the reason why I might go to jail.
Hudson picks up the summons and goes, I'm sorry, Sadie, Anne, this was never my intention. It seems that perhaps the services I've retained are a bit overzealous, but my intention is to support, and I can assure you that my intention is not to see my lovely Sadie locked away because someone is inhabiting her body. I'd like to see her return safely. That does not have to mean your destruction in any sense of the word.
How can I trust you? And the last time I confided in you, you immediately hired legal counsel.
Well, I have never navigated the paranormal or the occult, and I was just seeking assistance. I had met someone at the party, and perhaps they require some sort of advice or counsel to see them through. I thought they'd be a good person to connect me to the people I needed connecting with. I don't think you have any reason to doubt my sincerity. It's me who's seeking you out, not her. I didn't know this letter was coming.
You seem sincere. Did you like Sadie very much?
We had only met a few times as our marriage was arranged, but I did find her quite dear. Her demeanor and comportment did very much align with who I am as a person, and I think we would have made a truly wonderful match.
I feel bad for getting in your way. If only I hadn't been run over by a carriage, I'd still be home, and all of this would be but a dream. I am sorry.
Are you saying you're some kind of ghost?
Oh, yes, I'm deceased.
I understand. That information may be helpful. Perhaps you'd be willing to work with myself and legal counsel in order to rectify this situation. We may be able to find you some other kind of body.
I did enjoy being a cat. They don't live as long as elves, but maybe that's okay. It seems like I'll just hop into another one anyway. So I'm not opposed to the idea of vacating Sadie's body, but I am possibly the only way for you to contact her. I mean, do you have means to communicate with the sheltered and hiding deep inside themselves?
I don't at this time, but that is why I sought counsel and support. I can perhaps set up a meeting down the road between myself and yourself and Hop, my counsel, in order to ensure that we are working together towards a common goal and not against each other.
Well, Sadie trusted you. She wanted to marry you. Unless you're the reason why she fled. I'll try to contact her and find out.
Thank you ever so much.
Tell you what, if I can make contact with Sadie and get her opinion, then I'll know what to do. Let's do that. We just need some sort of magical... I don't know much about magic, honestly. All I have is good vision. I can just see stuff. Thank you, Kangaroo. I appreciate it. I don't need that anymore. You can take that back. But, like, maybe if I can just get in touch with Sadie and see if she, like, trusts you, and then I'd be on your side. Sure. Just the briefest of contacts?
Yes, I would support that 100%.
Okay, so Hudson, you stay here. Have another beer. And he's, like, drinking martinis and stuff, like... Yeah. And I will just consult Sadie really quickly. I know she's in there. I just need to figure out how, and then I'll go with you. Because if she trusts you, I trust you. But if you're the reason why she's running away from life and everything, then I don't trust you. Does that make sense?
It does. I don't know how I could be that type of person to her. It's always been genial.
Should be fine. All right. Well, I'll meet you this time tomorrow, same place, same time?
Sounds wonderful.
Okay. How to meditate. How to... Inward eye. Sadie, like, knows nothing about magic. Okay. New problem. How do I talk to myself? I don't know. Oh, you didn't ask me if I was in a three-way.
No, I was so distressed. I should do that. Before you leave, I do have to ask one other question. I'm sorry, but I've heard that perhaps you are entering into romantic entanglements with others, specifically 2 other members of your very guild. And I had to ask, as Anne, a guest inside of Sadie's body, are you respecting the sanctity of that body?
Good sir. I would never. I may have put on 20 pounds from eating all of these delicious potatoes and pumpkin pies, but I would never. How improper.
Trying to find a way for Hudson to use a resolve token, but
yeah, you have one left.
Yeah, that is good to hear. Perhaps if you could arrange for the other 2 to communicate that this indeed is not a thing that has happened. And I want to use my resolve token for Hudson to get Sadie to seek communication and confirmation from Marty and Colette that nothing has happened.
Well, Colette is out of town visiting Ivy, and I hear meeting Ivy's parents, but you can ask Marty himself. Ugh, never been so insulted in my life. And I head out of the bar, and then Marty, you're there.
Oh, hi, huh? What's going on?
Good day.
Excuse me, Marty.
Yeah, Hudson, yes.
I have to ask. I have heard about town that perhaps you have engaged in romantic entanglements with Sadie and Colette, and I am concerned for Sadie's virtue. If you could, she insists this has not happened. If you could confirm or deny, it would go a long way to supporting my wellness emotionally.
Oh, no, I remember. So this was completely my fault. I had met Portia for the first time, and honestly, she seemed really critical of Sadie. And I didn't know Sadie very well at this time. I didn't know about you and the engagement. So I pretended that I was with her we're not. We're just friends. But this is what gay friends do. We protect the women in our lives from, ill reputation. So I was pretending that she wasn't alone, that she had a man so that she could save face with the Portia, who was just being very mean to her. And I didn't realize that she already had someone, so I didn't need to do that.
Oh, I understand. This is sort of a reverse Beard situation.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I was just trying to make her look good.
The classic
Yeah.
reverse Beard.
I am well acquainted with beards and reverse beards. Who has not been involved in one of these types of situations in our youths?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Thank you for confirming what Sadie has told me.
Yeah, absolutely. Scene?
Scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good. So we just need to figure out how to reach Sadie. We have not decreased the number of scenes needed. Well, maybe Sadie can be there with the Hop occult thing. Because, yeah, she's the only person who's known about possession law. So Sadie will go see Hop when Arethor does, I guess.
Yeah, and it's a good chance for them to clear it up and make sure they're working together.
Yeah. And then Marty can second guess his longevity problem with Oliver to wrap things up. There we go. Where would Hop be meeting with Arethor that Sadie would bump into them?
My thought is that Arethor could bring Sadie along to ensure that there's some safety there and bring the tinfoil hat to make Hop comfortable. But it also gives them an excuse, a business reason to be together.
Yeah, Arethor's like, Sadie, guild member, come with me to go see Hop. And meanwhile, Sadie's like, oh, the one who served me court summons papers? Yeah, I should go see her. Yes, okay. So I'm coming.
So I would say we probably end up traveling to Hush, to the offices that Hop has to keep it professional.
Absolutely.
And on the level.
Yeah. Hop has her own law firm. She has completed her coursework while apprenticing under Arethor and is now a fully functioning lawyer in her own right. She has like a tree house bar thing going on, multi-level tree building. One floor is a bar where she can mingle and meet customers, clients. Other floors have things like Sears and, there's a mixed office building. We're not going to mention the alcoholic Sear. Yeah. And mixed offices. Lots of people of all income levels are renting out space here. It's affordable. And so Hop has a law office. It is set up with the lowest cost possible respectable chairs and tables. This isn't like a mahogany, This is like a table. Her desk looks very functional, but starter, and she has perhaps like too many office gadgets and stuff. She's got like fidget toys because she's not very busy. So it's a little bit more comfortable than a very busy place would be.
One of those Newton's cradles.
Yeah.
At the end of the desk.
Something to keep her entertained as she just waits in between clients. Yeah.
So Arethor will knock on the door of the law offices of Hop and Associates, even though there are no associates at this time.
Yeah, Hop and hopeful for future associates. She hops up, a white bunny with red eyes, her nose twitching, her ears alert, and excited, she heads to the door. A client?
And there stands Arethor and Sadie, a strange pairing.
Oh, no. She can't help but for her ears to lower, out of disappointment, visible on her face. Her nose stops twitching entirely, and she just looks deadpan at you. Before she sets her face, her ears rise, and she goes, Hop and Associates, how can I help you?
Hello, Hop. I know this wasn't scheduled, but I do have something that I think might help you feel comfortable. And I hold up the tinfoil hat of Red Skirt and say, this is an artifact that I have received from a winter spirit that can prevent any mind control so you can feel confident in our interactions. And we can test it here in the presence of this witness, one of the other fire-breathing kittens named Sadie, to ensure that you are safe when wearing it.
Sadie, that's you. Oh.
Oh, do you know each other?
Should I say Anne? And Sadie/Anne is like, yes, I am Anne Jopling, And I have come to you to support my friend, and also because maybe you know something about the occult.
Arethor looks surprised, to say the least. I don't know what you're discussing, but shall we attend to the hat and then figure this all out?
Okay. And I'm ready for Sadie to be like raising her hand and doing like the Macarena for the voice, and Hop to just be like standing still.
Yeah. So if Hop is willing to put the hat on,
Yeah.
we'll do the raising the arm test. Hop does not have to raise an arm.
Sadie's arm goes up. Yeah.
I hope that will set you at ease.
Hop watches as Sadie is basically doing jumping jacks. And she doesn't have to do anything. And Hop says, "This hat does work." Her nose twitches out of delight.
I'm so glad that we can discuss things together, face to face, once again. So you asked for some help with a case involving the occult, and I'm prepared to assist in that in any way I can. And it seems that you already know Sadie here, and I'm sorry if you said you called her Anne, and I'm unsure as to why. Is that pertinent in any way?
Yes, but I am not legally allowed to answer because I have to protect my client privilege. All I can say is that you do not know your friend as well as you think you do.
I see. Sadie, is there anything sorry, you called yourself Anne. I'm not sure. What should I address you as? Is there something you can tell me, perhaps, to clarify things?
I feel like I've explained this like 15 times now, so I don't care anymore. I'll shout it to the world. I'm Anne. I'm not Sadie. I'm in her body, but I'm a ghost.
Ah, so you perhaps are the object here that you were seeking my assistance with. Very well. Have you at any point, Hop, investigated a medium who may perhaps lead seance or some other such, or perhaps even a scientist of some kind who perhaps could make a body and could inhabit more permanently while we seek to restore Sadie to it, some sort of golem?
Arethor just rolled with it.
Yeah, this is
Arethor's
Arethor.
got lots of other knowledge going on. Okay, so Hop is like, I don't know. The only thing I've found out so far is that the inner spirit can be consulted for their consent through proper meditation with crystals. So we would need your consent, Sadie, and she's like gesturing towards the body that Anne is inhabiting. I know you can hear me. I know you've been watching all of this. I'm not sure why you're not out, but you don't need to hide. And if you do want to hide, you have to give your consent. You have to come out, and we can drag you out kicking and screaming with crystals, or you can come out. But if you want to stay in, you have to sign some paperwork.
Arethor says, that does sound like legally sound advice.
So come inside, step into my office, sign some papers, and then you can go back to sleep. But I know you're listening to everything. And then Sadie's like, okay. I'll sign some papers. And then the elf body walks into the office and signs some papers. Is this what I need to go back? Is it okay? Is that enough?
Apparently, you're a new person to me that I may not know, Sadie. But before you go back, I do know and have spent some time with someone who is eagerly hoping to speak with you. Is there anything that you need in order to feel more comfortable returning to your body?
I just need some time to process all of this. It's all very sudden. I'm getting married. He seems like such a nice guy, but I don't know him. But tell Anne. She is inside very confused right now. Can you tell Anne that I don't trust him, but don't not trust him? I just don't know him. But my parents like him, so I'm sure he's fine.
Very well. Shall I give any message to Hudson?
Oh, God. She flees.
Yeah. And I'll relay the message to Anne as soon as Anne comes forward again. You know, it's Sadie is needing some time to process and has asked for that, has encouraged you to neither trust nor distrust Hudson. She does rely on her parents' opinion, but doesn't know him well enough to have and finds it somewhat overwhelming. So papers are signed. You are safe to remain inside of Sadie's body for the time being. But perhaps we should begin some contingency planning for a time when Sadie is ready to return.
The darkness. 'Twas so deep. I don't want to return. Anything for the light. I mean, yes. Yes, we should make some plans for the meantime.
Yes, that sounds appropriate. Perhaps your services could be arranged in seeking alternate, more permanent accommodations for Anne.
I can't say I know much about the occult, says Hop, the bunny, but I roleplay as 3 people. But I will say that you're definitely not going to have to go to court now, Sadie/Anne. The paperwork's all in place. And, Arethor, maybe we can talk about this more. And she pats her hat.
I'd like that very much. I do need to be upfront. The hat is technically a loan, and must be returned to Frida, the spirit of winter, when winter comes again for training purposes. But perhaps we can find another solution in the long term that will make you continue to be comfortable and be assured that I'm not using any undue influence on you.
That's something I'm willing to work on with you.
That makes me very happy. And I'm happy to assist on this case as well, in any way that I can, unofficial as it may be.
And scene, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Wow, look at us role-playing. Oh, boy. 3 characters in 1 scene. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Never again. All right. So, Marty, ready to second guess longevity?
Sure.
And then we're done.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Mason, where do you want to be?
Oliver Mason.
Where do we want to be is a good question. Where would Marty want to have an uncomfortable conversation with Oliver? Because I don't know where this is going.
In the
right?
hammock late at night. That's when your worst thoughts are like, I got to say this. Oh, were you falling asleep? Ready for a nightmare thought? Okay. What if you die?
That works. Yeah, having idle conversation late at night.
Bed is a place where that happens, for sure.
Yeah.
So you ever thought about death? You just like whisper right before bed? Oh, good times.
Yeah.
I'm going to be over here.
Right.
You guys have fun.
All right. How do you guys want to start?
You're in the hammock.
We're in the hammock. We're snuggled up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wasn't that party so good? Such a good party.
Apparently. There's a lot happening there.
It was busy, but it was a great chance to have like my first public performance.
You did amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, babe.
Yeah. Also, what's, I mean, I know we were joking that we were married, but, what's this about love?
Well, you know, I was feeling it in the moment, and it was just true to what I felt, and so I thought I should. Was it too soon? I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not that. I mean, yes, maybe a bit soon, but
You don't have to say it back. It's okay.
I'm just wondering where you think this is going.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just really enjoying it right now, and we live together, so, you know, I don't know. Where do you think it's going?
Dust. Relatively quickly.
What? What do you mean?
Oliver, you're human.
Yeah, but I'm young. I'm only 19. I've got my whole life ahead of me.
How long is your whole life?
I don't know. If I live right, live clean, 90, 100? A long time.
Yeah. Do you know how old I am?
I don't know. 25, 30?
Uh-huh. I look that way. And I will look that way forever.
How old are you?
I've been around for 5,000 years, give or take.
What?
I thought you knew.
We've never talked about age before. That's a lot, Marty. That's a lot. That's a long time. How long? So, hold on. What you're saying is that if we stayed together, that I would get older, but you would be this pretty forever?
Yeah.
But
I thought you knew.
That sounds okay to me.
Oh, well, great. Thanks. I do really like you. You have made me feel things that I haven't felt in longer than I can remember.
You can see Oliver blushing a little.
Aw. But I don't know what to do with that, because I know that 90 years seems like a long time to you, but I've taken naps longer than that.
Then, I mean, what does this mean to you?
I don't know yet.
Well, then maybe we just see how it goes and keep going. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we've been pretty good together, and without you, I never would have gotten my lute playing off the ground.
That's true. It's going great.
Yeah. I mean, the party was so good, and we have so much fun together. And I mean, sex is great, and like, maybe I need to think about it a lot, but I know that maybe 90 years isn't a lot for you, or I mean, 80, I guess. And it might be for me, but maybe, I mean, have you had other long-term for them, short-term for you partners? Is that, we haven't really talked about our histories.
Not.
Now I'm a little scared to ask your number.
I don't
Maybe
think
don't tell me.
really. It's the right number. No, we normally don't get overly invested in mortals. You know, I've dabbled with a few gods. Of course, there's the seasons have always been a little closer than most family members. You know, siblings and cousins are just kind of the closest approximation to what we are to each other in human terms. But, you know, there was a thing with spring a while ago, a few thousand years ago. It didn't work out, but it was a good 500-year run.
That's like a lot, Marty.
Yeah.
I might need like a little bit of time to think about everything. Maybe I'll find another hammock tonight, if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's just important for expectations to be tempered.
Yeah, okay. Well, good night, Marty. And Oliver will climb out of the hammock kind of awkwardly, and seek an empty one for the night. Not really sure where anything's going.
Scene.
Wow. All right, and that concludes
That's
all
sad.
of our role playing for Good Society. We just have a few like cleanup things. There's the epilogue of the epistolary, where we get to write up to 2 letters from a major character or connection, and anyone with a monologue token has to use it. So all of us can send 1 letter, and the person with the monologue token has to use it either on yourself or someone else to hear the truth. I guess I'll start with my letter because it's going to be kind of necessary. I'm writing a letter to Sadie's mom and dad, and I am saying, "Hello, Sadie's parents. This is Anne, the current occupier of Sadie's body. You may know me from the last few months when we've been living together. I know you noticed, and I know you weren't saying anything because sometimes daughters can go through phases. But yes, I am a spirit. My name is Anne, and I was hit by a carriage and run over, and I am dead. And I found your daughter's body to be completely unoccupied. You see, she needs some time to process some things. And it's better for her that I am exercising her body than that she is laying down and not eating or drinking or pooing or peeing. So therefore, I am going to continue to occupy her body. And here's the legal paperwork. And I did move out, though, before I sent this letter, because it's kind of awkward to live with someone who's in your daughter's body. And I understand that. And I'm going to be trying to return it to her as soon as I get one of my own. Real sorry. Thanks for all the breakfasts. I know they were more awkward than they should have been. I probably should have told you sooner. By the way, I did take the money out of Sadie's bank account. Thanks. I hope to return Sadie to you soon. Signed, Anne.
Okay. Arethor is going to send a letter to the Jishop Bar Association. Request and just write, to whom it may concern. I am writing to ask for leave to assist in a informal capacity with Hop Cottonbottom on ongoing cases. I will not be appearing in court, but hope that this can be an opportunity to renew a relationship with the Jishop Bar Association in the future hopes that we may reconsider the status of my ability to practice law. Sincerely, Arethor Gowick.
I wonder if it's like your future goal to find a way to turn off your voice, sort of like iron shackles for wizards in some magic systems, that as long as you're wearing that, people know you're not using magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll probably come up.
Future
some visible
goal.
way to prove that I am safe to practice.
Yeah.
I mean, those are canon. We've had anti-magic.
Yeah.
Like I think it was a bracelet before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voice isn't actually magic. It's just people think it is. So that's the trick with it. So it's going to have to be figured out, but probably through. My guess is it'll end up coming through Arethor's mom down the road. But Arethor doesn't know that stuff. So we'll see.
We'll find out in a future adventure. And we have one person who has a monologue token and an epistolary to do. What are you doing?
Okay, so first I'm going to send a letter. It is going to be from Rowan to Oliver, and it's going to say, I've been talking to Marty. He told me about the conversation that you had. I know that things look bleak, but I want to encourage you not to give up hope. If being the spirit of spring has taught me anything, it's that life finds a way.
What? That's so nice. Good job, Rowan.
Right? Look at him being nice.
Ah, he's so nice. And how are you using your monologue token at the end?
Who do I need to tell the truth? What do you guys think? Is there anybody that hasn't been truthful?
I think you got to use it on yourself.
On myself?
Yeah.
How so?
I mean, what you say to Oliver and what you say to yourself are different things. Do you love that boy?
Let's get into it.
Okay. So monologue token, he feels like he can't be completely honest with Oliver because he knows that Oliver has deep feelings and he feels them as well in a way that he hasn't for a long time. That was the point. He wanted to find meaning and he did, but he found meaning in someone who's being honest about this part that he knows is going to die. Not just die, who's going to get old. We're talking about 90 years. What's he going to look like in another 40 years? Right? How is this realistically going to be a meaningful connection for him as he watches him age and die? He wants to, but he's not sure there's a possibility.
Tough times in fantasy worlds. So, is there anything else other than revealing our secret desires that we have left to do?
I don't think so.
All right, I'll reveal my secret desire first. Although the listeners know, my fellow players don't. Sadie's desire was desire number 5. A large income is the best recipe for happiness I ever heard of. And it was to come into substantial wealth while ensuring my reputation stays absolutely impeccable. I would consider myself to have accomplished part of that goal. I did take Sadie's money from her bank account and put it in my own bank account. But I'd say my reputation is a little bit tarnished because now everybody knows. This is the episode that is a turning point in the season. Everybody knows I'm Anne. I'm just going to call myself Anne from now on.
It's out there for sure.
Oh, gosh.
All right. My desire card is marriage is indeed a maneuvering business. Desire is to bolster your love interest reputation and then win your parents' permission to marry them. In an ideal world, one is not dependent on the permission of one's parents to pursue their deepest and most ardent affections, but sadly, this is not an ideal world. And if you want to wed without losing that sweet inheritance, you'll need permission from mommy and daddy. And of course, pleasing them means choosing a spouse with a completely impeccable reputation. In today's world of endless gossip, this is no easy task. I don't necessarily have parents because it's already established that my parents have faded away to dust. So we are substituting the general family of the seasonal spirits as a parental figure.
Mm-hmm. And I'd say they surprisingly approve of him more than he does of himself. Maybe at this point, like their concerns were transferred onto him. So now they're okay with that. And he's sad.
Yeah. Well, the relationship just got a lot more real this episode.
Yeah. Wow.
People are throwing love around.
Oof.
19-year-olds, man. They do.
I know.
They fall fast, hard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they do.
My desire, what is right to be done cannot be done too soon. Restore your family name and resume your place in society. I think I took some steps towards it in renewing my relationship with Hop, although the stuff with Hop certainly ended up taking over the restoration of myself in practicing law and stepping up again as a more affluent member of society. But I do think I took some steps for what is probably a longer term goal.
Yes. And now we have a path to that, because if Hop can, using her tinfoil hat, show that the power can be negated, then we can get, like, you trustworthy again in the eyes of the judges and the juries.
Yeah. No, I think there is a pathway there now, for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining me for this game of Good Society, a Jane Austen / telenovela game. Honestly, it's a fun system. Like, you would look at it and think, oh, there's no combat, it's going to be boring. And yet, we have gone the longest game, that, like, we ever do. It's kept us more entertained. So, I would say, this is a very good system. Having a good time. Love it. Love the lack of GM prep too. I'm definitely going to keep this for any time that we have like a last minute opening on the calendar and we need a game. I'll just be like, okay, I'll run Good Society. Anyway, so thank you creators for sending it to me. I really enjoyed trying it. I hope you're not offended by our fantasy adaptation of it. But you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It was tricky in the moment, I think, sometimes with multiple characters on the go, but I think that's more about practice than anything else, and making sure we don't have two characters that we are playing in the same scene having a conversation with each other, because that was tricky.
Indeed. Things to learn. Well, thank you for joining me this time for Good Society. Joining me were Marty.
Hi.
Arethor.
Lovely to see you again.
Goodbye.
On Arts Educators Save the World, we talk with artists and their mentors to discuss the transformative work that happens in arts education. We began with Lin-Manuel Miranda and his elementary school music teacher, and mine, Barbara Ames.
The direct education we got from Barbara, it was life-changing.
And since then, we've spoken with Cecily Strong, Josh Radner, Annalie Ashford, Robert Lopez, and so many others, each with their mentors. Join us again as we begin Season 2 of Arts Educators Save the World, available everywhere.